Close one. Okay. Now we should be good. Oh, okay. Now I think I'm caught up enough to at least say, hello, chat. How are your nights going? How are you? Welcome in. Yeah, no, that makes sense, Nathan.
Puppy dog eyes.
Yeah.
These are ferocious. These are ferocious squirrel eyes. Look at these bicuspids.
Man, now I can only think of that twerking squirrel on what's his name stream.
The twerking squirrel.
Oh my god, yes. Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick, thank you. I couldn't think of the name.
And twerking Mario.
I'm twerking Among Us.
The anonymous or Among
Oh
Us.
yeah, the Among Us.
Yeah.
The Among Us one is really where it was at.
That is an
Ain't got no business
experience.
being that bouncy.
Excuse me. Do any of the players still have questions for me that I have not answered yet?
Yeah, who created the world?
All right, so I'll let you know in about like 80 sessions.
What
Give
is
or
the
take.
meaning of
Damn,
life?
you're gonna have
That's going to take a
fun.
few more
So-
sessions.
Do you have pants on?
All right, so let's get into the recap.
All right.
Nice. No pants club.
Yeah, it's a pants off dance. I did. I created.
What is
Wow,
classified
Joel,
as
no
pants?
spoilers.
That's the real question here.
No
What is what now?
pants.
I
That's
said,
a fair
what,
point.
what
All
are
the knee
pants?
you get stream.
What are pants?
What are pants? How
Oh.
do pants function?
Damn.
40 not damn. Dora, I swear it ain't true. Gokabot's a liar.
So to let chat know, I have confirmed that I still have yet to roll a 98.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
He's rolled 151 times?
Yeah, so out of 202 D100 rolls that I was able to accumulate or aggregate from the data that I've rolled, 151 of them were active rolls, I guess. And of
Okay.
those, I have never rolled a 98. I don't know what the active part means, but I filtered by that because there was some without a total value. So
Okay. Even if you included all 202, did you still not roll a 98?
yeah, nope. No, no, no.
Wow. Well, one day it'll happen, and you guys will see the D&D chat
yeah.
explode in
Oh,
the
I forgot
server
I should
when
roll
he's
We
finally
gotta
does it.
do the
75.
I think I'm.
Yeah, I don't
in
think
the
I've done one for
20s
today.
14.
20 adjacent.
You might as well do one for old time's sake, TG, and just see. Give you a
Have I
free
done
one.
one today?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think I have.
If
Normally,
Josh
I wait
rolls,
until we actually.
He's gonna get a 90.
I was adjusting my camera so I'm more.
Saying
sensitive.
me. You sure about that, BB?
Okay.
Wow.
Really close.
Ooh. Take that 5.
Damn right.
Yeah, I have not rolled a 98 today.
Hey, there you go. No, all right. And on that note, oh wait, it's my favorite number.
Another 37.
Again. Wow.
Six
You roll that
37s,
so
what
often.
the fuck?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I roll 37 the most often.
Dude.
Oh, that's halfling.
That's
You'll never know.
nice.
I see an 8 in there. It's. Can you please rename BattleBot to Cinder?
We're not doing this. We're
It's
not.
not.
doing
It's not
this.
gonna make that sound when it when it enlarges. All right.
Did I?
No, that's the sound the enemies will make after it hits them. That's the-
God. No, I refuse.
Oh my god.
1 second. I need to make sure that I copy this.
Oh, and just for Gia's sake, I double checked that there were no spiders in my beard tonight.
Nice.
What?
Solid.
Did you have a spider in your beard the other?
He said he
No,
found
he was just
something in his
double-checking.
beard, and it
Rachel.
crawled. was what he said.
I thought it crawled.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty sure
could've
it just
been
was
wrong.
probably a hair,
It's
and it
probably
rolled
your
off of your
finger.
hand.
No, because it was
felt your own finger in your beard. And you're like, oh god, what's
hard.
that?
This is just like. Hey.
To be honest, I thought it was dried. I think it was dried nacho cheese.
You know
It is
what?
spider adjacent.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Actually, I blame you for my nightmare. that
Oh,
I had.
God.
I blame you.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh my gosh.
Now I know that I have the
Lars
power
playing
over your
Lost Stars.
dreams.
Oh damn. All right.
Hey.
If I dream about ladybug spiders one more flipping time, I'm gonna kill you.
Ladybug spiders?
So
They
cute.
ate
Yeah.
Stewie's tail.
Why? no.
Because they're evil. They're
No, yeah, that's accurate. Man. All right, so with that word out of the way, let's hop into the recap. So,
Alright.
last time we left our unnamed party that will one day get a name, more than likely guaranteed, they were just departing from the wonderful city of Sprocketon. After gathering their goods together and preparing for the next leg of their journey, which would take them right now planned to be to the Turanai Desert in search of both a memoriam and also, apparently, possibly, the lost city of Besmeden. After learning from Joran Rabbeldibble that he believes that there's a high chance that it's there. After showing you guys a mechanical arm, which technology exceeds anything that you guys have seen from the current time, you guys took care of preparatory work. Mavis gave a short interview, essentially, to Trebar Craghelm, before making his way to pick up Joran, and you guys made your way out into the Freelands, the rolling green grassy hills that occasionally turn into just more flatland. For as far as you can see, just endless grass. You notice that the weather picked up quite a bit during your travels, where you encountered intense thunderstorms, and during one of the nights of keeping watch, Gar actually noticed a tornado in the distance that swept its way across the face of the Freelands. Thankfully not making its way towards you guys, you left it and continued on your merry way. Although, one of the knights bore some interesting conversation for a few of the members. Zeos spent some time, visited a small grove of trees, climbed up, or rather hippity-hoppitied up to one of the branches, and I forgot what you did exactly, Zeos, while you were on the branch. You were meditating. That's right.
Yeah.
You were meditating, trying to recreate what you had seen before. Unfortunately, to no avail, but nevertheless trying to do so. Gar and May shared a conversation. Do you remember what it was about, TG? Because right off the top of my head, like I said, I haven't watched the session. I totally forgot. Do you remember what it was about, May?
Whose conversation?
Which conversation?
Which conversation?
During the watch, you pulled Gar away. That's what it was, and basically shared that you spoke with it again. And
that conversation.
It tried to offer you a deal, or re-offer the same deal. After talking with Gar about it, he still kind of urged you, May, to share it with the rest of the group. And you said you'd seriously consider it and would probably talk to them the next day. Next day came along,
Detail
and
missing in that.
There probably is. Go ahead and...
Gia? You know
What
I'm talking
detail?
about? The detail
What did I
that
say?
everyone that you've told about it has
Oh,
died.
yes.
Oh, yes.
Every person who knows about it is dead or has died.
Every person in May's life, which granted is not that many people, that has known has died.
Wow.
No. Oh,
Savage.
that you have... Oh, no.
I'm just gonna go cry.
Oh, my God. I didn't even think about it. That you have
Poor
told.
May. They got no friends.
The reason I'm crying is because he's not wrong.
Oh, my God. Everyone that you have told in your life, which has not been that many people, has died. And including Gar, he had also died immediately after you told him. And you, even though he came back, it was still something that brought May pause. Gar, throughout the course of conversation, said a single sentence: just try to help as many people as you can, or we try to help as many people as we can, which made May go white, because that was the exact sentence her mother had told her shortly before she disappeared. Joran and Mavis spent some time in conversation. Once again, I'm forgetting the specifics, though. I've literally been like prepping for session all day, and I forgot how the previous session went. Do you remember what the conversation was, Mavis?
Between Gar and Mavis that night?
Between Joran and Mavis.
Oh, Joran and Mavis.
Yeah.
Oh, it was I think
Oh, it was about the weave.
It was about the
It was about the weave.
He tried to share
Yeah.
the basics of what he understood about the weave. Being raised by dwarves, he was a little more familiar with at least the basics of magic, even if he himself couldn't cast it or wield it.
Right.
To the point where he was at least able to start sharing some in particular knowledge about arcane runes and how they almost act as
That's
a
right.
passcode to the weave. Mavis took note of this and seems to finally be taking an intrigue in magic in such a way that he hasn't before.
Yes, sir.
Also during travels, Joran made his way up to the front of the carriage at one point and asked May about Nidon, considering that he had heard along the travels that she had been there. Just trying to make conversation, asking how long it had been since she'd been back, if
Wrong
she
choice.
enjoyed it. Very wrong choice, very incorrect decision. And Joran quickly realized this, and though he tried to correct his mistake, he ultimately just decided it was best to leave May to recoup and not make the matter any worse. Eventually, only a couple days out from Kradena, you guys continued your way through, saw a horde of bison being led by a variety of very strong-looking individuals wearing pelts and wielding great axes that just seemed to be herding the bison through the aftermath of the storm. Which you could tell carved a sort of, well, groove out of the freelands where the tornado had made its way through. After stopping once again, only a couple nights out, Gar kept watch and heard some ruckus, and as he went to investigate, a dagger came flying by that he barely was able to dodge in time, where he was able to wake up his group just as they were being attacked by two assassins clad in dark robes with face masks covering everything except their nose and eyes. The battle took a lot of finesse as the assassins weaved their way around the battlefield, trying to keep out of sight and use every opportunity to sneak away and come at them from a different angle. May attempted to compel one of them to duel her. It kind of had an effect, and after making sure that Joran stayed by close to protect him from any of the onslaught, after whittling away at each of these assassins, eventually the group got it down to one. Realizing he was outnumbered and that the group had questions for him, he immediately unsheathed his short sword, turned it around, and stabbed himself in the gut. And May said, no, you don't. And immediately took the damage in a way that she had not experienced before, as from the very insides of her, she felt as though life left her. And though it worked, the assassin said, I have multi-attack, and just proceeded to do it again. Gar hopped off of the ledge where he had rolled down to, revived him, and stabilized him, rather. As the party tied him up adequately, Zeos checked, excuse me, on the other one. I don't know if I said that out loud, what you found, so we'll leave that. But Mavis was able to find 2 rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mavis was able to find 2 rings on them, which were glowing during combat, and the glow had subsided immediately after. Identified them, hasn't shared them with the group quite yet. And as you guys find yourself sitting next to a campfire in the aftermath of the carnage, where's this? In the aftermath of the carnage, you have currently in your possession, quote unquote, an assassin bound with his hands behind his back, leaning up against a stone with the gentle flickering of the campfire on his face. The last thing that you guys had discovered was that both assassins wore a sort of leather bracer with the symbol of the Order of the Dark Knight emblazoned onto it. A symbol you had not seen in quite some time, and weren't quite sure if they were even still a threat at certain points. And it seems that they've caught up to you a little bit. The assassin has just now, who you can see is a late 30s, not middle-aged, human, relatively fair-skinned, scars across his face. One of his eyes kind of droops a little lower than the other as his head kind of hangs down a little bit. Not quite Zach-like. And as you woke him up, the only thing you heard him say so far was, shit.
I did grab him by his jaw to make
That's
sure
right.
that he couldn't bite his own tongue.
That's right, you did. And with that in mind, that is where he is currently. Immediately after he exclaimed, oh shit, you grabbed his jaw, and currently he is with his hands bound behind his back, just leaning back up against a rock.
And as she grabbed him, I had cast Zone of Truth, which
Oh,
that's
everyone
right.
failed except for
I didn't fail.
Mavis.
No.
He succeeded.
No,
And
he
then did
the assassin
rogue
succeeded.
succeed too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I
failed.
wanted to double check on.
Yeah.
I failed.
He did. He did succeed.
So,
Game's paused.
Asinor
Oh.
sent you.
You see him staring straight ahead right now, not even currently blinking. You can hear just occasionally a little bit of air as he adjusts a little bit with May's grip on his
I'm
throat.
assuming somewhere up the chain he probably did, but I'm more concerned about who got the information now. Who have we spoken to recently? I was thinking about it, and there's one person that I told some things to.
What do you mean told things to?
There was an officiator to the inventory. His name Traybar. Traybar something. I don't remember his last name. I still didn't. I didn't write it down. Nope. No, I did. Traybar Cobblehelm.
Right.
He approached me after finishing the inventory and asked me questions of, where am I going next? Do I plan to come back? He's the only one that I said the word Kradena to.
If I'm looking at the assassin, is there any recognition?
That's what I was hoping
in his
somebody would do.
face?
Make me an insight check.
I think
I'm
we're
looking at
all
him as
looking
well,
for
yeah.
recognition.
Sure. Anybody that's
Uh,
looking, make me insight checks.
Nuts.
Damn.
I'm keeping
Oh, I
an
can
eye
really?
on the dead
21.
body still.
21, okay.
A plus
21.
21?
You're keeping an eye on the other body? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm standing up here.
You know what? I'll give
following
Joran
what
a
they're
chance.
Doing, but I'm mostly partially
go,
focused
Joran.
on this body as well.
Net
I-
20.
I gave Joran a chance.
Gamble.
I know.
Is that a nat one?
That's a
or is
nat
that
one, yeah. He's
Okay.
got
Oh,
a
it's
plus
a nat
0.
Okay.
None of you can tell. He appears to be keeping a very stoic expression on his face, unblinking except for an uncomfortably long time in between blinks where he feels like only out of necessity. And he's staring straight ahead where the only thing you can see is the flickering of campfire off of his face.
You know, the problem with him is that threats of death or violence aren't going to face him. He was prepared to die.
Yeah. No, I mainly just wanted to see if there was any recognition on his face from that, but I bet he's trained in those ways too. I'm gonna
course.
assume it was Traybar. He's the only one I've told.
I know Athenor. I could send him a little message. Could tell him that his spy is still alive and actually warned us. Maybe.
Talking up a storm.
Yeah. What?
You feel him kind of adjust in your grip, May. Just a little bit, not trying to escape.
You could even mention the name Traybar.
Really, no.
Mm.
Do you?
What?
He went
You're
silent.
gonna have to say it. You're gonna have to speak up.
Say it with your chest.
You really know nothing of us, do you?
Oh, we
We
know
know
that you're
very-
tired of the ceaseless light.
I don't get it still. And we
You'll
also know that we
find
just
out in time.
beat your ass. So there's a couple things we know.
He gives you a slight, just like
A slime.
ever so slight half smirk, Mavis. Not out of cockiness, almost just out of like uncaring.
I'm going to not cast, but like start the conjuration of Word of Radiance,
Okay.
which makes burning radiance erupt from me. So I'm basically starting to glow this divine light.
Okay.
Um,
You have your warhammer in hand?
Mm-hmm.
You step a little bit closer to this assassin in front of you, close your eyes, and as you open them, for any of you close enough to Gar, you can see this teal color kind of begin to swirl gently in his eyes. Not intense, just very subtle, as the end of your warhammer flares up, and instead of going away, its glow continues to emanate as it grows brighter around you. You can feel it getting closer to the point where you could release the spell within distance of this assassin.
Tell me, does this light bother you?
He looks at you right in the eyes. Your blessing. Gift of undeath meets me soon.
Undeath.
Oh,
It comes
that's another
for
thing
us
that we
all.
know now.
Matters not.
I look at me. What does undeath mean? Does that mean like zombie? Does that mean like
I was
skeleton?
curious of the same thing, actually.
God, you're the cleric.
We fought some undead in the cave, Gar, if you remember.
All right.
But yes.
You wanting to be a skeleton? Confused.
Your worst. You're clearly not very good at this.
No.
Oh, neither are you. You just told us you gave up one little bit of information now, too. We know you're going to be undead when you die.
Oh, all will know when our plans are complete. It matters not.
If it matters not, drop the rest of it. What's the plan?
You're clearly the least skilled of all of them, aren't you, young?
Well, yes, intact. Absolutely.
Have to do better than that. He leans back with a cocky smile on his face now. His body leans back. His head stays damn still.
Yeah.
He ain't leaning back.
So his body's just like separating.
Yeah, it's just kind of like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast command on him.
Okay.
Interesting.
I
Speak,
guess.
boy.
Does it have to be one of these that's in the list?
I think so.
Let
Some
me know what
typical
you're going
commands in
for.
there. It says
I don't
typical
think it-
commands.
The only thing is,
Okay.
I think it just has to be one word.
It does. I'll allow you to add some flair and do a custom one, as
I
long
don't
as it fits a
think-
level 1 spell.
Yeah, because it says like these are
Speak a
examples.
one-word command.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my shit together and think about this for a second.
Sure. He looks over. You can see May. He just like slightly turns his head, mostly his eyes turn towards Joran. Out of your element, aren't you? And you can see Joran just, should I just wait over here?
I'm just gonna turn his head in the
You're
other
fine,
direction.
Joran. Do
Sure.
whatever the fuck you want.
He doesn't fight you on it once you do so. But you do see Joran kind of approach you, May. Am I okay to be here? Should I hide behind a tree or something?
You're safest closest to me.
Okay. You can feel him like within a foot of you at this point, just right next to you.
Right up on that hip.
Stop talking about my hip card.
He's about him.
Yeah, he is.
I do cast it,
Okay.
and I say trust. I have a shit saving throw, so
Saving throw too.
yeah, my wisdom is ass an or.
Ass!
I feel the same way.
Get settled!
Well, first of all, I guess fails.
And I know he fails, right? Because obviously the
You do,
spell
yeah.
will take effect.
Lasts for 6 seconds for 1 round. So I'll say,
So
Gar, you look
yeah.
at him, you say trust, and you see his eyes narrow towards you and soften a little bit. And you feel like for the next couple seconds, you have his attention.
Where's your next target?
You see him kind of shake his head. We're the only ones. Fuck.
We're that famous and that much of a pain in his side.
I should have thought that through more. Moved like location, like where they were going to appear next. For a
Well, I
portal
figured they're
or
probably going to be
something.
following us since, well, they followed us here.
So we were your only target.
That's
So you failing your job obviously is going to hinder the grand scheme of things, because why even bother with us? If your plans are going to come to fruition.
You see him start to just kind of, for a second, contemplate and then regain his stoic nature. Not so much in terms of like, oh, maybe he's right, more something else, but you're not quite sure.
Can I? Insight check?
Yeah,
Sure.
can I insight?
Yeah, you can insight.
See that if like my words maybe scare him a little, like there's truth behind what I'm saying.
Sure. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Sure.
Well, he rolled low. All of you can tell. It seems more out of annoyance, but not towards Gar. He almost took on a slightly irritated expression and then just left it.
Does anyone else have other questions?
I have one. But it's a bit more personal.
That. He like closes his eyes now, not even looking at any of you. Even though you still have your grip on him.
Tell me, and I urge you to tell the truth. Would you have lived differently if you could?
He opens his eyes and looks towards you now. I have to check something.
Do you want me to roll persuasion or anything? Like, let a girl know.
When May asked that as well, that
Not
snaps
yet.
Zeus's attention
Okay.
to him.
Sure. I told you what you gathered from the other one, right? In terms of just like appearance and region that he could have been from. Didn't I message that to you?
Yeah, you
Yes.
told me that.
Okay, I thought so.
If you're talking about me,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not why I'm
Zeus.
looking at him.
No, you're
No.
you're fine. I just wanted to make sure I did tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. You see him. You see him for a second, May. Make me a new insight check for this, since this is a different question.
Can I insight
Holy
this as
dice
well?
gods.
Since that pulled my attention to him.
Yeah, you can. Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming
But he rolled really well.
very well.
A natural one, yeah.
Nice. The passive insight passes.
Saint?
May and Zeus, actually, both of you guys can tell. When he looks at you, May, after this question, for a second, you see a glimpse, as small as it is, a glimpse of humanity come back to him. Of like a person that has been living by a code and not by any thought for a long time, if that makes sense. And immediately afterwards, May, you see him primarily glance down towards your wrist, towards the hanging symbol of Ilmater. And then he closes his eyes again. Ilmatari, don't try your games with me. I know your ways. Die in peace and go on to what I deserve.
The die part we can confirm, but peace.
People who have remorse or even doubt for the actions that they have done and the things that they have committed do not deserve a terrible death.
No. They do not.
Make me a persuasion
They do
check
deserve
now.
death.
With advantage, because this is a group endeavor right now.
With advantage, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage on this one. Well,
Let's go.
And
All
thank
right.
you, team.
What was the first one?
17.
Damn, that was still a good roll. Okay.
Yep.
As you say these words, you see him look at each of the group. Gar, as you chime in as well, he looks towards you, looks towards Mavis, Joran. Who are you people? Put up a fight like you did with us and then here like this? Try and change it? Who are you?
You just said it, didn't you? I'm an Ilmatari.
For the first time, you feel him relax a little bit. Your grip. What do you want?
You can be redeemed. This doesn't have to be the end.
I promise you what I've done, even if I hadn't succeeded here. I'm far beyond that. There's a little bit of a scoff on his face.
You can change. You don't have to be like this.
Give me one more persuasion roll. Not with advantage this time.
I'm gonna go bad. I can feel it in my gut. I knew it. I told you.
You see him listening. As he kind of turns a little bit, not trying to escape, just like adjusting his position. Even if I wanted to. You don't know who I work for. They'd never allow it.
We know Athenor. We stopped his plans before, multiple occasions.
Unless it's not Athenor that you work for.
Any
Yeah.
Insight check.
I'm not gonna insight check.
Hiya! Oh, let's go.
Damn, God. Let's go with that wisdom.
my +3 wisdom?
Where am I getting the +1 from?
Went all in on the strength because I thought I'd be smacking people with my warhammer. Turns out I have inflict wounds. Why the fuck would I smack people with a hammer?
For when you run out of inflict wounds.
Yeah. Gar.
Oh.
That's what you catch.
Right. You said that we were your only targets. How many were on your list? You already stated that we were the only targets. You might as well be fruitful with the information forthcoming.
You see him a little bit confused.
How many?
Targets. I've already told you.
Your mic's cutting out.
Yeah. Every time you speak as him.
I'll turn up my sensitivity a little bit because when it's softer, I do that. Let's
Yeah.
do this. Okay. You see him look back towards you. You were the only targets. I've already told you.
I point to Joran. He was the target?
He doesn't say anything.
Any look of like indifference to him, kind of like what I got with the other thing?
Without even an insight check needed, yeah. He like looks towards Jordan and then just looks back towards you immediately.
And
Well,
it was-
why would he want me? Exactly.
He doesn't.
Oh, okay.
You're fine, Jordan.
Sorry,
And
it's
you
not
were
really
told
my...
just for this caravan, this exact group of people right here.
I've said all I need to say.
No, there's still more.
Answering these questions can serve as atonement for you. It was obvious that if you could have lived differently, that you wanted to.
Atonement. What? Handful of questions for all of that.
Not all of it, but it's a start. You have to start somewhere.
Give me another
I
persuasion check.
Remind me, how did we heal it? I know I had cast
I
Spare
put
the
1
Dying.
point of lay a hands on him. He has
Yeah,
1 HP.
he's 1
That's
HP right
kind of
now,
a
which is
bonus.
why occasionally he's adjusting where he currently is. He coughs a little bit. And May, I'll say at this point, you can see a little bit of blood pooling on the ground as well from probably an open wound somewhere. Yeah, he's chilling. After saying that it's a start, you see him look over the group. They don't tell us what you think they tell us. We have a job, we carry it out. If I did know information, I'd tell you.
So there's a lot of you? Just like you?
Than me.
You say us.
What do you say? I'm sorry.
More than me.
More than me? Okay.
Yeah. Which could mean anything.
Oh, I figured that much.
When are they expecting you back?
The job's done.
Where were you to report to?
Let's try. I've been promised the gift of undeath. I will not betray those with me and throw that away.
And death
If it-
is not a gift.
Isn't it? Life is
Of
full
course
of
not.
pain,
It
suffering.
doesn't have to be.
Well, we could just leave you tied up here so you'd slowly starve to death and eventual undeath if you wanted.
It all ends the same.
Right,
Up
so
to
we
you.
leave him.
Yeah, I don't want to give him what he wants. If you find it within him to escape, we'll just beat your ass again if you try it again. But maybe it'll change your mind.
He looks at you, Mavis, and just
I'm smiling.
smiles back. Funny.
The fuck did he say? Cut out again.
Sorry, this is ridiculous. I either have to make my mic not overdrive or turn the sensitivity
Lean
up.
in
I think
really
he said
close
fuck
to it.
you.
I think he said fuck you.
He said the funny one.
The funny
Oh,
one.
yeah.
I thought it was fuck you. I was like, I'll shoot him. No.
Right, so
Not being funny.
let's
Just giving you two options.
let's hop in the wagon and head
What's
up
the
a
time?
ways.
It's currently middle of the night.
Yeah,
Oh, night. Okay.
let's move locations and set up a new camp.
Yeah. Let's get all of his effects off of him and tie him up real good.
I'll handle that. I'm gonna leave a message with him that he can give to his superiors.
I can help you tie him up at least.
It's okay.
Finish the
Hey.
job. He looks up at you, May, with your hand still.
I don't kill people just because they ask me to.
See then, huh?
What do you ask?
Yeah,
I
it's
think-
real bad.
Oh, I see
really
that.
bad.
He said no mercy then, huh?
Oh, no mercy. Okay, I did not hear what you
Yeah.
said either. You just gotta lean into your mic.
Yeah, just like this.
Yes.
There you go.
Literally.
Okay.
Lean right into it. That works perfect.
All right.
You have an opportunity, and you are choosing to turn it down.
I've already shared all I can. All I will. Nothing else is worth it for me. Not off the promises you show.
Well, you have a lot of time to think it over. Alone. Naked. In the middle of this field. Maybe it'll change your mind.
May? You should roll a wisdom save. I need to double check something.
Oh,
Go. Hold on. Ah, there you are. May, in your mind, you hear this whisper, just like far back. You almost feel this darkness, this presence over your right shoulder. You don't turn to look at it, but you hear this sinister, "Give him what what he deserves. And you feel yourself lower your left hand on your shield, and at the last second, pull it back up towards you. And manage to resist whatever this urge is to try and finish this assassin off. Just barely.
Do I notice this?
An insight check.
I would mutter. I will.
Insight.
May, are you trying to hide this whole thing?
Obviously not. This is a
Okay.
wisdom save. I don't have a choice.
I was gonna
really.
say, like, Zeos.
And I will literally mutter that. So I don't know if anybody else can check that.
Wait, what'd you say?
I guess I'll
What'd you
can roll a
mutter?
stealth for the muttering.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Okay. Which is gonna be great. Oh my god, go
Wow,
back.
okay. What's everyone's passive?
Shit.
My passive
that.
is 16.
Oh shit.
That's
A
11.
16, you say? Okay.
Yeah.
Meets the beats.
Yeah. So, Zeos, you do over here, May, and you can tell with that 17 insight.
Wait,
What
16
did
as well?
you mutter?
16, yeah.
Damn.
What'd
She
you
said I
mutter?
will.
I
will.
did say I
She
will.
whispered,
I-
I will.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reach out and put a hand on your shoulder. But
May-
I'm not looking at him or that. I'm still looking down the path.
May, for a second, you're
So-
off put because it's the same shoulder where you just heard this voice, and now you feel a
I
hand.
would have flinched. I would have fucking
As you flinch, you turn and you see Zeos, the flickering campfire light just illuminating his elven features as he just looks at you.
I just like give you a glance and just like take my hand off and just like go back to like looking this way.
do what you want with him. I'm getting up and I'm walking away
Okay.
to this log.
Let's,
I'm gonna sit there.
let's drag him down so he can't roll off the cliff. Gar. You're kind of muted too.
Right.
I'm gonna just kind of escort Jorn over here.
Okay. To where?
Where I'm
The
I
log.
may
Oh,
instead of
gotcha.
down there.
Making our way down the hill.
You
While Gar drags that one down, I'm gonna start the slow process because I'm weak as shit. Dragging this one down to him as well.
make me an athletics check. Both of y'all.
Okay.
You could battle bot up.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
really, they're
It's a
lightweight. They're meant to be nimble, but you
Oh,
drop him.
He deserves a few more bumps.
He's just like
He's
all
gonna
on him.
die. You're literally gonna be dragging him. He's gonna hit his head on a rock and he's
And
just gonna
die.
die.
And die.
Hold
You can
on.
just pump a little bit of healing.
May and
into
I
him.
are gonna come walking down the hill with him tied up, not sure about
You're
ourselves.
not
He's just gonna
killing
be
this man for me
dead.
dragging him on you.
No, that would be ridiculous.
but it isn't that one.
It isn't that one, but it's still an 8. He manages to, he doesn't actively try to escape, but as you're pulling him along the ground, he catches on a nearby rock and just slips out of your grasp as he, and you just pick him back up. Mavis, you manage to be able to drag the other one as well.
I'm grunting the whole way.
Yes, it takes both hands and both your
Yeah,
feet as you
whoa.
shuffle along the ground.
Whoa.
How else am I going to
Whoa.
say that?
I wanna
Takes
prop him
all
up.
your might.
Actually, no. I'm gonna prop him up on the backside of this bush.
Okay.
I'm assuming Mavis probably gets there at the same time as me, even though
Yeah, thereabouts.
I would drag him, the other one. Oh my god, Nathan, stop trying to move through walls. To here, in front of where he's sitting there, and just kind of pat the dead one and say,
Just to remind you what this life will lead to. Something
He doesn't
think
seem to
about.
have any expression on now.
you know,
do you have a name,
I sneak around here and listen.
real or not?
Smith. John Smith. As he looks at you with this smile.
I'm going to impart you with a gift. One that you can tell the others they can look forward to for your dedication to this hatred of light. And I'm going to reach up and put my fingers on his eyes and cast Inflict Wounds to decay his eyes. Not to kill him, but to just get rid of his eyes.
Roll the damage? His eyes are still connected to him body.
Yeah.
The eye bonus.
I mean, any damage is going to
Neat.
kill him.
I was gonna
but
say,
I'm trying to. It's going to put him in shock, obviously, but I just want to.
You can always cure him as well at the same time.
I don't have enough spell slots for that.
I can wipe him down. Don't worry.
God dang it.
Yeah, you just do that, and maybe it just comes up. Let me just clean up your shoulder real quick.
I mean, technically,
That's a
probably
pretty damn good
non-lethal,
roll.
but- Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Damage
I'm
per
doing
eyeball.
non-lethal damage, right? I can
Non-
declare that
non-lethal
it's non-lethal.
necrotic damage. You can declare that. This is ridiculously high damage. So, okay.
Can you downcast?
I'll tell you. I'll make him save for it.
That's first level.
Yeah, that's as low as he can cast.
Cantrip? Cantrip downcast? Is that a thing?
No.
Yeah, to help you with your journey to never see the light.
As you take two of your clawed fingers and put them up
Oh, that's right.
towards his eyes, yeah, this spark of cyanish blue energy like swirls around at your fingertips, and as it makes another lap around, it grows darker to a navy blue, darker to almost a darkened gray, and to a jet black as the energy pulses through his face. You can see his eyes, the irises build up as they turn completely black, and this necrotic spider web of death sort of stretches its way across the backside of his temple towards the back of his head and down his eyes a little bit. He leans back. I made him
He's
roll
still
for
alive,
it.
though, right?
Make me a medicine check.
Listen, I said non-lethal.
Yeah, but he's already died and been brought back
Nine.
and at 1 HP. He could be sleeping. He definitely leaned back with no resistance, but yeah.
Mavis.
Oh yeah, I poked my head around.
On my way. You need me to
Yes.
bring him back?
can nap
Either
you.
that or
So-
I use a healing potion, whichever
Okay.
is less expensive.
I'll just bring him back.
I'm just gonna wipe down his face with a medicated wipe.
I have
He
to.
actually cast it. Sorry.
Roll minimum. God damn! He has more
One
HP
short of
now.
maximum.
How long did it take you to get there?
I was
were
literally
nearby.
right around this bush. I was right there.
All right. Well,
Been
So
within
I can
6
do
seconds.
I can do all of this within a turn.
yeah, he rolled a death save. Didn't pass. So you manage to take your medicated wipe out and just wipe it over his face, and you can see Gar as he does. It's almost like wiping the black smudge marks away a little bit
No.
on his face, not on his eyes.
On his face.
Only his face where it spread through, and you can see this assassin sort of like shudder awake. Fuck you.
He's back.
Gift. You're welcome.
He has his eyes closed now.
Doesn't really make a difference. Okay.
Yeah.
No, well, you wanted to. You were tired of the light, so we gave you what you wanted.
You're as bad as them. Sort of leans back.
Yeah. Find your way. Cut him loose. I won't cut it loose. That way I
Sounds
can keep the
good.
rope.
Sure. Okay. You untie the rope
Rope's
very
expensive.
carefully. Yeah.
As I sit down, Jordan or May and stuff, I'd sit next to May and ask May, I'm like, "Are you doing okay?"
Actually, no. Would you mind taking this arrowhead out of my bag?
And it's only at this point, Zeus, that you notice out of her right shoulder blade, just below it, there is a broken off arrow tip currently just protruding a good 3 to 4 inches from her
Can
back.
I mend it out?
Send it out?
No,
Nope.
Zayas, just rip it out. It's
Just-
fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
just-
but
Does he have to roll
Actually,
anything?
Yeah,
Here,
make
I
me
have
an
an
athletics check.
question.
Or a medicine check, sorry.
I don't know how this would work, but can I mage hand through her body and push specifically the arrowhead out of the body?
I don't want to know what that feels like.
Oh,
It's spectral, right?
Does
So it could
Mage
go
Hand
through
have to
things.
require a point that you can see within range to manifest it? Can you cast the cantrip for me? I think you have to be able to see the
organs
point.
around too.
Yeah, no, that's best case scenario.
just rip it out.
I mean,
It's
just
fine.
theoretically,
I'm gonna be okay.
I can pull it out. Okay.
Make me a
I do
medicine
have
check.
I knew it was coming.
Are you pulling the mage hand thing?
I'll tell you this: you have not spent a lot of time in you're
And
you're no
in anatomy?
physician. Yeah, you're not
God, he's
very.
gonna fuck up my shoulder.
Yeah. If you want to do it, you can certainly try. Okay.
I'm gonna roll a 10 on medicine and use my dagger to assist me in taking the arrowhead out.
Okay.
Okay, so no
Instead of
mage
doing
hand.
the-
Yeah, no
No
mage
mage
hand.
hands.
I
Oh my
won't
God,
give you
thank
advantage
God.
for it, but a 10 will be enough. How do you do it?
Yeah, I would just pull out my dagger. I'd look at where it is, kind of like hold my hand, and then use the tip of the dagger just to like finesse it, and then kind of like leverage, pull it out. I'm like,
Okay.
As I do that, I would probably tell May, I'm like, you want to bite on something?
No,
Like,
no, it's fine.
Just do
it.
okay.
And as he says, okay, you feel this sharp pain as it's removed, immediately followed by the coolness of the night air as it finds its way to the open wound. It's a strange sensation.
You're bleeding a lot.
It's fine.
But
Is
I'm fine. Okay, yep. I just put my hand on it, put
Sure.
like 2 points of lay on hands into it, or whatever.
Okay.
I
No,
don't know if I
that's
took
correct.
damage from it or what.
I'm like,
but
as I see it like heal up, I'm like, I
You
wish
take a
I could
point
do
of
that.
piercing damage.
I'll just do 1 point of lay on hand.
Yeah. Okay. Easy enough. It closes up the wound. As you feel, Zeus, you can see, as you're used to by this point, just the charm and the red prayer beads glow as this red energy coalesces around May's hand. She pulls her hand away as it lingers there in the shape of her handprint for a second and just seeps into her.
That was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I can imagine. Here, this might help, and I'm just gonna cool the spot.
A little icy hot.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was gonna
Okay.
little heat it, little cool it, little icy hot it.
Make
I'm
me an
gonna icy
Arcana
hot
check,
her wound. Sure.
because this requires a form of like control over a cantrip, which you're able to do. You begin to just let the heat coalesce around your hands. Your tattoos, just the corners or the edges of the tattoos themselves, flare up a little bit with this subtle glow that kind of echoes the bright orange of the campfire. As your hand glows orange and then immediately is replaced with this cool blue as you feel this just like gentle cool over the back of your shoulder, May. It actually feels very relaxing. Your muscles feel like they don't tense up a little bit. It's kind of nice.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
I've never tried, but I kind of figured it might help.
Yeah, it feels great.
Yeah, I'll just keep at it.
The last thing that Dude Man said down there, unless if there was more.
I don't
That
remember.
it, okay.
Okay.
I'm just icy hot and May's shoulder.
Let's go. The last thing that he had said was that we're just as bad as them.
That was the last thing he said, yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
We may be as cruel, but only to those that deserve it. You attacked us first, man. If you want your eyes back and you have a change of heart, come find us.
can restore eyes.
He currently is just like face kind of on the ground on his side, with his eyes closed. The last position that after Gar finished removing the rope. Gar, you got all your rope back, so you're good there. He just lets out this.
Yep, that's fine. All right.
Goodbye.
Okay. Joran kind of makes his way towards both of you, May and Zeos. Thank you. I don't know what I would have done if I were on the road by myself. I surely would have been lying down there like them. Not all of you here.
Unfortunately, it seems like they were targeting us, so if you weren't with us, I don't think this would have happened to you at all.
Well, I suppose I should count myself lucky, right? That I'm not of as much import.
Joran, I'm really sorry that we put you at risk.
Thank you. Suppose I've gotten used to it after being attacked by the Rock and Dwayne and all of it.
Damn it!
I can't unhear it because of that.
I don't even hear what you said, but now I know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that story you told us. You know that happened like what,
It's
98
crazy.
days ago?
Somewhere
Yeah.
like that. But don't worry. All is forgiven. I don't hold anything against you, clearly.
Thank you.
Of course. Suppose we still need some rest before continuing our journey towards Kradena. You can see he's pretty
Yeah.
shaken.
But we don't have to leave right now if you want to just take a moment to relax, Joran. And I just kind of like make room for him to sit if he's not sitting. I don't know.
Oh,
if
he's not
or
sitting right now. He's kind of up and fidgety and just kind of walking around, bouncing back and forth on his legs a little bit.
Or we could
okay.
leave. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable.
Suppose wherever's safest. And I suppose that's wherever, well, all of you are, so wherever you decide to go, suppose I'll follow
Wouldn't
for
be a
now.
bad idea to continue traveling, probably.
Very well. Where are...
People can. I think we're about 2 days away from Kradena. Just based off how many days we've been traveling.
Very well.
So it shouldn't be too much longer. If we head out early, we can kind of take shifts driving, and everyone can get some rest in the cart.
Okay, I mean,
I'm just gonna take whichever hand's closest to me.
Huh?
I'm just gonna hold his hand. I'm going to cast
Mm-hmm.
what I do best.
Call me
Yeah.
Calm emotions. And I'm just I guess he has
It's
to
a
roll for
comfort
it, technically.
train.
He
But-
wouldn't. He trusts you right now.
I just it's okay, take a breath. We will keep you safe.
Of course. Sorry, I grew up an inventor. The worst things I had to
This
worry
is-
about.
This is scary, and it's okay to be afraid.
Well, I am. So, thank you. But I'll be sure not to be a hindrance as much as I can.
Is there anything I can do to maybe alleviate some of the discomfort regarding your hand?
Oh, it's not so much a matter of, well, discomfort unless I go to grab anything. I don't really feel much of anything in it. It's just there. Constant reminder of both good and bad. I suppose an event in my life that stopped me from ever inventing again, and one that forced me to realize that that doesn't mean it's the end.
Alright.
I appreciate your concern.
Ever feel discomfort, just let me know.
I will indeed. All of your powers are much more than most adventurers I come across. You can see him much more relaxed now after you cast Calm Emotions and just taking a moment with him. What is everyone doing? What's the plan?
I'm gonna get up after that and look for them too.
Sure.
We stopped halfway up the this thing.
Up the hill, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Hill.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
What do you think? We escrow us then? Like, this was, in essence, defense.
Well,
I have no quarrels with what we did, but
the after.
should I?
All beings have the capability of being cruel
Well, I know
in
that.
different ways. What I did was cruel. Is it as cruel as them? It's not for me to decide, or for you.
If it were, I would argue no.
Well,
He was the first one to act cruel, and we acted so in return.
we acted in self-defense.
Correct. And this gives him the chance to really think things over. And if he does have a change of heart, then, well, we'll see. It reminds me of... Remember Tarthik?
Yes.
It's like the only other time we've done that. That one didn't turn out so bad.
Well, only time will tell. I am worried.
About...
He seemed not to care for the name Athenor, not like someone would for their superiors. Which
Something
means
tells
there's
me
someone else
Athenor's...
out there.
Something tells me Athenor's small potatoes.
I say with a grimace.
It's a good analogy.
Yep, I know.
Because you hate potatoes.
Yep, I know.
So
Thank you.
just making sure I got it from the same standpoint.
The fact is, we bested Athenor once. He ran away. If he was the top, then this really wouldn't be a very large concern.
Right. And that's why, despite how much I really wanted to kill him, I was okay with just harming him a little more.
I had my hand on my gun. I was just gonna shoot him. Someone who's lived that life that long, not likely they'll change.
It's true.
But
Though
not
I don't
improbable.
know how long he's been living that life. Hell, I was a sailor and a fisherman for decades before I became a cleric.
Indeed. It's not impossible, just improbable.
Improbable.
And if he comes back again, we'll just do what we did here.
I doubt he'll come back.
I doubt it
honestly.
too.
I feel that he will have death. If not from the wilderness that we've left him in, probably from his superior for failure.
Yeah, I don't think he's going back to his superior.
But will his superior send someone after him?
Possibly. If only we could find a way to, like, watch him.
I mean, he gave me a name. It's not a real name. I could message him.
That's fair. You know what what's required for that? You just need to have met this person? Or...
Yes, although lately I've been doing a lot of contacting people I haven't met, and it's been a struggle.
I, can imagine.
I do laugh at that because it's right. You're humoring Gar with the.
Okay.
I'm going to contact Laren.
That was my
Tomorrow.
concern.
I'm worried that there's another group who had a separate target.
I had the same thought. She's a bit more stealthy than us, so
But do they know that she didn't leave Sprockleton with us?
I didn't tell Traybar that. I just said where we were going.
They knew we arrived together. We spent the entire week together.
I was caught off guard. I allowed myself to say too much because I let it all go to my head a bit. I told him we were going to Kradena and then the desert afterwards. Not where in the desert. And it's a large desert from what I understand, but
Mavis, you have nothing to feel guilty about. It's okay to trust people until they give you a reason not to trust them.
it's not guilt I feel, it's stupidity.
Well, even
I'll
that.
fix it.
It's okay to trust people, to give them the benefit of the doubt until they do something that warrants you to not trust them.
What if the something that they do ends up being the end of someone close to me?
Is that something you could control? Because if it's something they
I'm
wanted
trying
to do,
to.
they would they would find a way to do it regardless of if you had or hadn't done something. Or they'd attempt at least to do it. It's out of your control. That's what I'm saying.
I appreciate it. The fact remains, they wouldn't have found us here had I not said anything. I'll be more cautious.
Well, I'm sure they would have found us. Athenor found us in Harmony.
Not here, not now. I appreciate it. I'm
Alright.
just letting you know, I'll be more cautious.
Alright.
Okay.
Do you think we should move camp, though?
I agree.
In case they had
Yeah.
backup.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to stay.
Like,
Okay. So you guys make your way back to the campfire. Is all five?
No, we
of-
just take off.
Yeah, fair.
No, yeah.
fuck this shit, I'm out.
As all five of you find yourself around the glow of the campfire again, with Joran, is there anything you guys are doing before you?
Do you want to move camp, or do you just, I suppose, want to start really early on travel? You did sort of say it in front of him.
They know which direction we're heading, but we can take precautions. I'm concerned that they have backup. There
So-
could be another party waiting for their return or to hear from them.
I
What are you
could
saying?
just start travel now.
Did we get any
If we
sleep?
just-
I can't remember.
You did. You got
Doing
about
good
3
full
hours.
nights.
It was on full rest, though.
Yeah.
I say we travel for half an hour, just off the beaten path in the general direction that we need to go,
All right.
and then we'll remake camp.
I'll get Fenge
Yep.
and Zhao together.
All right.
Dousing the fire and pulling up all the stuff.
Okay. As you dump water on the fire, Zeus, what are you doing?
I was going to say, I'll help May get the cart ready.
Okay. May, you notice that Fenge hugs very close to you after the whole endeavor. Even though he wasn't a part of it, he was within sight of it the whole time. The carriage was nearby. He sort of just like leans his snout into your shoulder, pet his nose. And he doesn't take his eyes off you for a little bit, just like you get the sense just very clearly concerned for well-being. Saddle them up. You guys prepare to head out for another hour or so, trying to just make some distance here.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, half hour to an hour.
Sure.
Yeah.
You find a place off the beaten path, surrounded by just a few patches of trees, a little more flat than the previous area. You choose one of the trees without lighting a campfire this time to try and just set up a basic camp. Gar, you make me a perception check for your watch.
I'm muting myself.
Yes, you are.
I'm not taking watch. Because it was getting ready for me to wake up Zeus anyways.
Yeah,
true.
I can.
Yeah, it's close enough that you can do that. So, Zeus, make me a perception check for your watch.
Oh boy. I don't have good feelings about this for some reason.
Okay.
I told you. I had so many good rolls previously. I'm like, this one's gonna be bad.
You
Gotta come.
You don't notice anything except for occasionally, partway through the night, you see a small family of like 5 rabbits and bunnies just like scampering from bush to bush, trying to find some area to sleep. But other than that, the Freelands seem relatively peaceful. Eventually, the sunrise peaks over the eastern horizon as you guys regroup and get everything packed up for another journey. May, are you trying to push the horses any faster, or are you just going at your normal pace? You know it'll take you about 2 days.
Yeah, just my normal pace. If
Okay.
anything I'm trying to make go faster, it's more of like a quicker path or whatever. But
Yeah. Okay. Not so
So
much
that-
pushing their physical abilities,
Yeah.
just okay. In that case, Zeos, go ahead and move the, because I think you were the one moving it before. Go ahead and move
Yeah,
it
well,
Move to
forward.
Frankie.
Move to Frankie.
Is that? Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice. And then the next day you'll be able to make it to Kradena.
Yeah.
So, you guys.
I would probably get a little bit of just like meditational rest, and then continue what I was doing.
Okay. Are you trying to still? Oh, also,
Yep.
Gar, you finished the thing you were working on at this point. May, you have finished your book. You have
Yes, thing.
yes, the thing.
So we're gonna reach Kradena by nightfall.
Depending. If you guys get a slightly early start, you could. It's still like mid to late summer at this
Okay,
point.
hold on. We just went from here to here. This is us at the end of the 22nd.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So we have a night going on right now.
Yes.
Okay, and we're
Um,
talking about the day that just happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which you find like a small area with a pond approximately 20 feet across. Some small fish that kind of make their way through the pond. Occasionally some deer off in some of the trees. You do see a couple bison once again, but fewer this far to the edge of the Freelands. No other life seems to be, definitely no other human life seems to be active at this point. As you guys make camp for the night.
I do want me to roll an Arcana check.
Yes, please.
Mavis,
Yes, Gar.
can I see some of your tools?
Is that good enough?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I pull out
Should I
like
just re-roll it then?
it's like
I mean,
this,
yeah, if you're using the thing.
like a rollout thing of tools.
Nice.
Oh, do you have anything heavier? Like maybe a hammer or
Nope.
I have a gnome-sized hammer. Will that do?
Yeah, possibly. Just give me all the things.
Oh, yeah.
I pull out another 2 of those bags. Some of them with bigger shit, some with smaller. There's hammers, chisels, all that jazz. So, in fact, I have thieves' tools, smith's tools, tinker's tools, woodcarver's tools. So you'd see all the things for those.
Nice. Why do you have so many fucking tools?
Tis the life of a guild artisan / artificer.
Yep.
I just bought tinker tools. I have tools. But after you roll the stuff out, I pull out a basket woven from tall blades of grass.
You've been seeing him collect these blades of
Yeah,
grass
I
every
was-
night you guys make camp.
I was gonna ask what you were making.
Yeah, just something my mother would do back home. And
Do we
I never was good at it, so I want to test its strength and durability. And I just start loading tools into it little by little and seeing how much it'll
Make me
hold
one
before
last
it-
slight of hand check for the entire crafting
The
process. For the flick of the wrist.
Oh
yes.
boy.
Easy.
I make it a 7?
No.
Plus
This would have been without
that
your
stacked?
knowledge.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
you put, Gar, as you hold the basket up, it looks like it was crafted with love and very personal touch on
That's
it.
about all.
It's a basket. And
No brain
it
power,
definitely
just
has
love.
like the charm of what you're used to in the Hollow Fjord in terms of like, no, this is a functioning basket. It doesn't look like a professionally made basket by any means, but that's not what you're really going for. You put the tools in it, and one by one, you hold it up and you hold it towards Mavis and say, see? And a hole breaks open through the bottom center of the basket as about 90% of the tools just fall onto the ground.
Just kind of
Your
flip
first
it up
malfunction.
and look at Mavis through the hole. Stick to tinkering.
I clap and say,
Your first malfunction.
I'll throw it towards the bonfire or the campfire.
Okay.
After getting all the tools out.
Yeah, fair. You toss it.
"My tools."
Just starts slowly getting burned away. Creates a lot of smoke in the fire from the grass it was made of.
So,
See?
for what we have here, impressive craftsmanship. Minus the hole. Could have never had that
Right.
part. But
Yes, it's one of those buckets that are baskets that never fill up. It's an endless bucket. it's
I mean, one of those holy buckets, right?
yes, it's a holy bucket.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah.
a cleric. You're getting good at this.
I don't like it. It's not like me. If you want to try more complex creations,
Yes,
all right.
I want you to help me come up with the designs and plans this evening, if we can, and material cost for me to create a wind-up gar.
Thankfully, I have some expertise in this field, so I can certainly do that. Do you want it to explode?
No,
Okay, it's gonna
I
be even
wanted
easier
to
then.
do something similar to your mug. I wanted to shoot cold out of it.
Intriguing. I can think of ways to do that.
I whip out the sketchbook,
Okay.
flip the page to the Gar model that I had, rip out another page, and then start like adapting the model.
I like
I'm
it.
going to try my best to follow along with his mad scribbling. Come in, please. Come in.
I do annotate the entire thing with like the common word pointing to the gnomish
Yeah.
word that's right next to it.
Make me an intelligence check, Gar. Just following along here.
Do I have to do anything?
Nope. This is natural for you.
Bum, 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 bum.
I-
Flash of genius.
Can I?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
he
actually eyes
is
here, guy.
explaining it, so.
Yeah, no, it
advantage?
makes sense. Not for this. This is just Gar picking this up at all. Essentially, he can make this check because of it, but good call.
Okay, so that's
While he's doing that, I'd ask if he had any of his Mavis wind-ups that I
I have
could
two
keep
left.
looking at to see if I can kind of
Gonna explode.
not
his
reverse
head.
engineer, but like just kind of look at and see how it works to see if I
Yeah.
can understand any of the mechanisms inside it.
Okay.
I'd ask him to deactivate the explosive before I do it.
Not possible.
Okay.
I'll give you your toy.
Okay.
I hand him his clockwork toy.
Perfect. Okay. Gar, you find it difficult to follow along with how quickly Mavis creates this prototype of a sketch of what he needs, along with dimensions and descriptions and everything. Costs, theorized outcomes even. And you manage to at least follow along with what you think will allow you to keep up next time. You're definitely confused though. All the letters.
All this stuff is the boring part. The fun part's when we actually start to put it all together. So
Yes.
you're there for that too, then?
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed. In fact, when we get the things we need, I'll ask someone else to stay outside the banner so I can work with you. We can do it in my room, so I don't have to see your
Oh,
secrets.
very well. Okay.
Throughout most of the night, you can tell that Joran is sitting on a rolled over log, just examining the metallic arm.
I had noticed he was working on this thing beforehand,
Yeah.
and during the days he was working on it, correct me if I'm wrong, I never saw him drink, right?
Oh, Gar, you mean?
Yeah.
Forget,
Is that
Gar,
correct?
I know one day you didn't.
I didn't every day that I worked on it. So
Make
however
me
many
a
days that
secondary
was,
con save.
Question when you get time, Josh. Can you re-explain the area we're in to me?
Yeah, sure.
I know you said there was a pond, but that's all I got.
Gar, it suddenly dawns on you. I've been doing this enough that I could get the shakes at some point. Put your hand out. Other than just like, you know, the sway of your hand in the as your body naturally moves, you seem actually pretty stable right now. You're fine at the moment. But it does kind of like, it's just in the back of your mind, this subtle call.
Oh, I'll be sure to get you your own set of tools too, since you probably don't want to be working with ones that are my
bought
size.
some actually,
Oh.
and I pulled them out. And like, I actually picked some up in Sprockton.
Oh, very well. Okay.
Cost me most of my gold reserves, but that's okay.
Oh, how much did you pay for those?
Oh, I think it was 50 gold, 25. How much did I spend on the Tinker's tools?
The Tinker's tools? I think it was probably only like 20 gold max.
Oh, they do.
I never put them in my.
They cost 50?
They cost 50.
Oh,
cost 50.
you would have spent that then.
Yeah, I definitely remember taking the gold out. But, Tinker
Yeesh.
tools.
I didn't realize artisan tools are so expensive.
Yeah, they are.
Specifically Tinker's tools.
Tinker.
True.
Disguise kit's kind of up there too. It's 25. But
Yeesh. I can make a
Yes.
good business selling that. That's pretty pricey.
I
Well,
don't know
we'll see
why.
if they work for you, but
I don't know why I didn't just ask you to make me tools.
we can come back around to it later.
Didn't we
Perhaps.
have a conversation about you giving me
we
tools?
did.
Did you?
No. This was out of session.
Oh, okay.
You and I were talking about.
So maybe I didn't pick them up.
I was curious because. Yeah, there's some narrative things that Josh and I have been talking about for
Yes.
this specific topic.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't pick them up. Josh, do you remember? Did I say, "Hey, I
I don't remember you.
You want to?
I remember you saying that you wanted to start tinkering, but I don't remember you actually picking up Tinker's tools.
I don't remember either now.
Yeah. You could look for them while in Kradena, though.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Right.
Or
Yes. Tools. Help me obtain some tools.
Yeah,
These are a bit small
absolutely.
for my.
Yeah, I figured so. They're meant for me. So yeah, no, I can make some more tools or get some. I'll adapt it. I'll make it work.
Perfect.
And we'll start this as soon as possible.
I say, and I glance at the flask and then back.
Right.
I then we're at camp. Yeah.
So currently, to redescribe, like TG said, you're currently at the top. Oh no, you're good. Or rather, amidst the flat expanse of these grassy plains, there's a small pond, not a lake. It's only about 20 feet across. Lily pads that are kind of scattered about in it, reeds that are growing up along the edge, and a few trees that kind of are scattered about the border of this. You're currently in a small outcropping of trees that kind of provides a bit of a reprieve from any prying eyes, and off of the beaten path with a clear sky overhead, stars in the sky, and probably about a couple 100 feet off of the path you've been traveling.
Okay. Cool.
Speaking of, you would have noticed that during your day's travel today in particular, you made your way back onto the Traveler's Road, the official, like, main traveled path, which is probably 20 feet across and much more
I see.
well traveled.
I see the different dashes.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, then I would approach May wherever she's at.
Okay.
That
would
went all over my head for some reason.
I would probably.
I don't
be
know
sitting by the
why.
pond.
I asked the question, and as Josh was talking about the area, I heard nothing.
We're in plains. There's about a 20-foot pond, and there's a small outcropping of trees.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'd be sitting by the pond. Have I finished my book at this point or no?
Yeah, you finished it the previous day.
Okay, then I'd actually be writing in my prayer book.
Okay.
Probably my feet in the pond.
I like that. Yeah.
Chilling out.
Bengay kind of nearby, a few feet from you.
I would start to just like march up. Do I notice that this is the prayer book? Like, is this
Make
thing
your perception
is this
check.
thing definitive? Use a
Maybe perception check with advantage because you have dark vision. Yeah, you've seen May write in this several times.
Okay.
This is her prayer book. She has currently, would you be writing one of what I think you're writing? Okay. She's in the midst of writing several paragraphs at this point, but from this distance you can't really tell what they say.
And it's in the back of the book versus the front of the book.
True.
Interesting. Okay. Either way, I start the normal just march up, but then stop, seeing that it's the prayer book, and I wait.
Do I notice?
Are you trying to be unnoticed, Mavis?
I'm like maybe 20, 30 feet out, to the point that she wouldn't have heard me walking.
Yeah.
I notice she's writing in it. I'm not trying to be stealthy, but she'd have to be like really listening to find me.
You wait for a good 2 to 3 minutes, and she just continues writing.
I'd wait.
Okay. Are you trying to observe anything in this time, or like wait for an opening? Trying to.
I'm waiting until I see her put the book down.
If you're just gonna wait and not announce yourself, you get the feeling after about 7 to 8 minutes that it could be a while.
I turn back around and I go find Zeus.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm also by the pond, not near May, but just kind of like off. I'd say like, seeing it's only a small pond, like maybe 10 feet away, just laying where there's like a slight incline from the hill.
Jordan is in the pond in the meantime. No.
Yeah, and I'm just like staring straight
like
up.
Fabio just flipping his hair around.
Yeah, right.
How late is it? Is the sun setting kind of?
I'll say it's the late hours of twilight where there's a.
So you're just starting to see the stars. The sky is slowly fading.
There's a barely visible pastel color on the horizon, and all of your surroundings are like shadowed black as your eyes are adjusting to the light change.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where Zeus is. He's also by the pond. If you're
you said is he writing in a book too, or?
No, I'm laying on the ground looking straight up.
Cool. I'd approach then until, you're looking up and you just see a Mavis face poke into your vision.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I sit next to
Yes.
you? Okay.
You can sit wherever you want, Mavis.
I said,
You can also lay, or you can
I'm good, I'm
stand.
good. Think
You can hop in the water.
I'm ready now.
You're ready?
You know about magic. Clearly, you use it, and always have.
Yes.
I've spoken a bit briefly with Jorn, and he's mentioned something called the weave, and among other things about magic that all make virtually no sense to me, as I've shunned it for, well, a very long time. I need to understand.
I don't know how much I'll be able to help you, because I still have many questions about magic and the weave, but I can tell you what I know.
Okay.
So,
So, the weave, then... Is it a person? What is it?
It is... it's something that I'm not actually 100% sure what it is, but I can tell you that it is something created by the gods.
Created by the gods. Okay, and how do you... How does everyone know that? Is that recorded in some history books, or is that...
That's not recorded anywhere.
Okay, so then how do you know it?
That's a complicated question.
I'm all about complications. Explain it to me and I'm sure I'll understand.
Well, you know when we had some downtime in Sprockton, right?
Downtime? I was working the
Well,
entire time.
yeah, downtime for us while you were working
Oh,
or
yeah,
waiting for the
yeah, of course,
inventory
yeah.
to happen. Well, I spent the whole time in my head, and
Seeing.
during that time, I went through some, I guess, visions. You know how we had that vision of Malil talking to us, right? It felt
Yeah.
something like that, but different.
Okay.
And one of the things I saw was Malil and a person named Arya.
All right.
Those two together, combined with, I don't know if it's their own magic, if it's something else, but with their power, Malil strung a note on his harp. Harp, right?
Liar. Because a harp, he would have
Lyre.
had to be like,
Lyre.
yeah.
That's
so,
And out came an energy, and this energy Arya took and compressed it, and then pulled it, and then everywhere was a layer that intertwined and weaved. And that, to my knowledge, is the weave. But
Just so
that's-
that I'm clear, and I'm not doubting you. You said you spent it in your mind. Was this a dream?
I mean, I could be completely crazy.
Well, yes, that's always true, but
But one thing for sure is I've never known anyone called Arya, so I don't know how I would manifest that. To my knowledge.
I've dreamt up some things that I don't think can exist.
I mean, you dreamt up symbols that came to you. I dreamt up this.
Touche.
So,
So this is
that
you believe now.
is something
that was
I
before
believe
it
now.
then.
Yes. What others believe, there really isn't any idea what the weave is. They just know that they can use it. Wizards will use it by using arcane symbols to pull the weave. Uh, and, you know, clerks like Gar are granted connection to the weave through their deity. So through Melora,
So
he is
all magic comes from the weave. That's its source.
from my knowledge. But I'm not 100% sure on that because I don't know what the power of the gods have. I don't know if that's related to the weave, if it's something beyond the weave. I just know
start.
it's something that us here on the... Huh?
I don't mean to eavesdrop, but you were only like 10 feet away and there's only a bush of reeds between us. And also you said the word deity, so you might find this interesting. And I just hand Mavis the book that I've been reading.
okay.
I was gonna actually.
What is
ask
it?
for that? That's perfect.
It's Magic for Dummies. Well, I guess one of the things I learned was that the weave does make up all magic, and spellcasters can access it by calling upon it. Sort of like, I guess an interface of some kind.
Yeah,
Nice.
so that's what like the arcane symbols are. They're like an interface into the weave.
But the book does say that the weave has always existed, so...
Yes, and that's what I've always known until like a week ago.
That is my
So
problem with most things magic related. There seems to be a large area that's esoteric, and most can't fully understand.
I
I
mean,
intend to change that though, so I gotta start the journey now, I
we
guess.
are very small things on the scale of everything. So
I'm well aware. Now, anyway. Thank you.
yes, and there's I mean, you could read through that book, but there's There's lots of things that aren't known.
Hence my frustration.
I
And you
stand
can
up.
Spend, yeah, as he said something like, and you can spend years researching it. Many do.
I unfortunately suspect that I will. So,
And I'm kind of like set up for that conversation. I'll just like lay back down and stare back up.
Okay.
okay.
If you do learn anything more, I'd be interested to know.
Well, I intend to share all the knowledge that I find.
Anything else interesting in that book, May?
At this point, I turn back around.
Sure.
So I did start walking away.
Oh,
I
you
wouldn't say it
started
was
walking away?
riveting read, but it was definitely informative. Stuff on the different types of schools of magic, difference between arcane and divine, oh, 9 yards.
Yes.
You also learned about the contemplation of levels of spells, and that the 9th level is as high as any caster should be.
It actually says the 9th level.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, I'm not even gonna try and say like, oh, the first circle. No, they level them
ninth
like
circle
first
of
through
Arcanist.
9th.
I mean, they also break up certain spells into like different levels of power, I guess.
Now that you mention it, yeah, that sounds about right.
I think I have 2 second-level spell slots, so I think I know what you're talking about.
As you said, I'm like,
Let's be nice.
not many talk about it in that way, but yes, that's exerting yourself to the level of these skills. There's tears that they teach. Well, if you get to learn about them, I guess.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you both. Alright, goodbye.
Reminding me of school. There's shivers and he lays back down after looking
Yeah.
at you two.
On the way back towards Gar, who I'm assuming is like setting up camp or something of the sort, or what is Gar
Camp's
doing?
been set up at this point. There is a small campfire that you guys have made.
You good,
Gar
Gar?
seems very confused.
Yeah, am I catching him pooping or something?
He just nods.
Sorry.
Good.
You good?
Heart candy.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, Gar would be in his own little journal making his own half-assed sketches of blueprints.
Gotcha.
Make me a different intelligence check with this.
Intelligence.
Intelligence check.
Oh, I
please.
expect this to be very bad, regardless of what it is.
Natural 20. No, but close.
Holy shit.
It's hella good, brother.
Gar, while it's mostly just scribbles and drawings and a lot of things that you're not quite fully sure what you're writing yet, your memory of it is pretty accurate. And Mavis, as you kind of glance over towards what he's writing in the book, he seems to be mimicking what you have written down so far pretty accurately.
All right.
You can't tell if he understands it or not, but he's writing it down accurately.
So it's literally just like a
Memorization.
My,
At this, yeah.
yeah. What the hell was I trying to say? Or like me forging his
Oh, yeah.
blueprints.
Yep.
Impressive. That actually looks quite accurate.
No, kidding. Well, I don't know what it means, but it's there.
It usually starts that way, but then the glory of it is that you actually can eventually understand it, as opposed to magic, it seems, which most who use it still don't understand it.
How are we going to get it to do what I do and exhale like a cold?
That might take some time. I have some ideas, but it would take some time, and with whatever I appear to be, the artificer, that term, whatever it is, perhaps it would make it easier. I don't know.
Well, I'm not an artificer.
Right.
And the point of this isn't for me to just be your little sidekick helper. It's for me to eventually learn how to do it myself.
Correct. And I can think of ways where it can be done. It just would take some time.
Or even, what if instead of exploding into fire, it exploded into coldness?
Now that's a bit easier. It's an explosion. I already know how to do that. So,
Right. How do you turn an explosion into frost or ice?
you just have to find the right combination of substances. Then when they mix, it's, well, essentially an instant freeze of some sort. I'll research it. I have some ideas.
All right. Well,
Gar,
yes.
can you remove curses?
Yes.
Will you try on me?
Inside check.
Sure. What are you inciting?
Does Mavis really think he's cursed? Or is
An insight
this
check.
like a ploy to...
Roll to me, Mavis.
Not that he's doing anything devious, but that he's...
Damn.
Yeah, maybe like if he's just curious about the divine magics, or if he's really worried.
1 second.
Yeah. Oh shit! This is the next day, right? This is the day.
No,
after.
this is night.
Well, this is the day after the assassins. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have contacted Laren, by the way.
Oh, okay. What would you have said?
Just real quick while you're figuring that out with him, I would have said, "Oh, I didn't take a long rest. Hold on."
Okay.
That's strange, Gar. That doesn't help me.
Ending, long rest. Okay. I would have said we were attacked by. We were attacked by order of the Dark Knight Assassins. Be careful. Let us know if you need anything. Okay, bye.
Okay. Let's go.
You hear her respond.
Oh, they got her.
I'm sorry.
Nope, you hear her respond. We're fine. I know you can't respond until tomorrow. Is everyone alive? We've been quick and unseen. Miss you.
Two things. She said we're.
Yeah.
We didn't know that she
She-
left with anyone, right?
Yeah, she
I
mentioned
know,
that she left
she
with.
mentioned-
Oh, was it in the letter that she
Yes.
left with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in.
And you knew who
And
you
I
left
can
with.
respond, so I would.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, because you're not using the stone. I see. Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm using third level sending.
Okay, gotcha.
The stone.
And in that case, she wouldn't mention the thing.
We
about
gave
not
a we have a
responding,
sending
so-
stone too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot
you
about
hit.
that.
She
So-
did give a sending stone.
So I would say we're all alive. We're okay. Miss you.
X is a no.
She responds.
She
Miss
responds.
you. And then you send miss you.
Yeah, miss you more.
No, you hang up. Look, I only have a couple more spell slots left.
Exactly. She responds.
You know. Wait,
Back.
it says words, but not how long a word is. No.
Loopholes. She responds, the first word actually being an audible sigh of relief. And then afterwards, I'm so glad. Please stay safe. We're making good distance. Not progress, because we're not there yet. I still don't know what to expect. Still keep a window open.
Okay, sigh of relief. I would have told everyone that
Yeah.
because I figured I would have done this on throughout the day.
This would have been
Right.
leading up to the night.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. For some reason, I was thinking right now. I was like,
No, it's like Mavis says, "Can you remove a curse? Hold on, let me talk to Laren."
Yeah, sorry,
I'm on the
sorry,
phone.
Mavis.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mavis. Just hold on.
Aaron, you're more important than Mavis right now. Can I talk with you before
Thank you
Mavis?
for contacting Gar. Please hold.
It would, it would really hurt the most if you just said to Laren, like, "No, I'm not busy. What's up?"
Oh my god.
Alright, so insight of
Yes. So,
23.
you see an unparalleled look that you haven't seen from Mavis before. There is true sincerity in his eyes. In fact, almost glossy at this point. Like he's being very genuine here. He is not joking.
With my limited knowledge of curses, because it really is limited, even though I know how to remove them.
Yeah.
Or you can say otherwise.
I'll have you make a religion check for it, actually. See what you know
Okay.
about curses.
Perfect. That's a +4.
Damn.
Nice, brother.
You remember back in Sunset Valley, Bellman, as he was kind of trying to explain to you some of the different things about curses. You're pretty sure you picked up something about what you were having for lunch that day instead from what he was saying. But Giovanni did a pretty good job of explaining. And he explained that there are different levels of curses. And while he himself didn't know every level that existed, the base level of it could be anything minor, something that affects you in day-to-day living, to something that affects you long-term and maybe even is passed down through generations.
The information I want to try to recall is, are there visible markings of a curse? Whether it's like a physical thing or magical thing. Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty much what I'm trying
I'll
to-
say that with a 19, he did go over that, and you do remember that it varies. Some curses can have a physical manifestation, but it's all over the board. Some of them can very much remain hidden. Sometimes a person can even go most of their life without knowing it's there.
Mavis,
Yeah.
we should step into the matter for this.
Yeah.
Just for a few moments. I'll
I kick open the door.
Zeos, you see Joran lean over.
Why do they have a square-like contraption in the middle of camping area?
I see nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Closing his eyes.
He looks down.
Zeus?
Sorry. And he goes over to May.
Why do they have a... What is that? Oh,
And he sees as
Oh.
you start waving the
I
key
get up.
over. Sure. Do you go over it all, or Okay. Joran follows you?
Here, this one here.
what is this wonderful contraption?
Mind your
This
business.
is a door.
Door.
I was
Wonder.
Yep. Exactly what I was
Why?
gonna say. You'll see.
Well,
It's-
why else would you need a door? It's to go places.
For you,
Sorry, forgive my hubris. I simply...
for your safety, Jordan, do not step anywhere near or even remotely close to inside of this door. When we open it, you will die an instantaneous death.
That
Why
sounds
do I need to
terrible.
scare him like that.
That's a bit overboard.
I
This
don't
is
know
just
if that's gonna happen, but I also don't.
this is
know
merely a
if it's gonna
secret that we need to
happen.
keep. If you can respect that.
Another several minutes pass by. As you reach the last of the runes, you see all of them flare up around the border and this white horizon appear. And you see no reaction from Joran.
Is it like the Stargate portal?
I know. that's
Kind of,
exactly what
except
I'm
minus
picturing.
the
event
like
horizon.
excursion. Yeah. And it doesn't have ripples on it. It's just like a gentle mist. But you see Joran not react at all.
What should I...
This is a portal into another dimension, another plane. A semi-
Remarkable.
He puts down like a pair of glasses.
Something
May-
so
if-
simple.
you wouldn't mind.
I, like every time he moves his hand up, I just kind of push it back down towards him because the enemy don't know what's gonna happen.
Sure.
If you don't mind holding onto the key, I just need about, well, I'd say 30 minutes.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe.
Have fun.
Goodbye.
And as you guys step through, you guys see, as you're used to, the white, like, kind of flicker as they step through a gentle wave. And Joran just, like, stares in bewilderment as he raises his glasses.
My trail mix.
They disappeared into thin air. Remarkable.
They said it was a portal.
Yes, indeed. But
Nate's like snacking out of rations, like. Ah.
and you do this often. This is a regular occurrence.
I wouldn't need to.
Would you pass some of those? Are they communal, or is this more personal? I wish not to.
Oh, that's my personal rations, but I always run out. Here you go.
You take some, and you two find yourselves stepping through the manor door on the other side.
Oh my god.
As you step through the front door into the open foyer of the wonderful Midway Manor with the long red rug in front of you and pathways off to either side. You see at the end of the hall as Gunther emerges from behind a doorway. Hello, welcome back. It's good to see you both again. Will you be staying long?
About an hour.
Very well. Is there anything we can do to accommodate you? Anything you need?
Just
Water.
Water, but of course, sir.
and then privacy.
I shall be as though a ghost, which I am. And he floats away.
Is that a joke?
That was such a Brooke pun.
Let's we'll head into my room.
I'll follow you.
So you find your way up to Gar's room. Mavis, as you step through the doorway, you hear the familiar the creaking of just outside with the gentle lapping of waves along what is trying to imitate the inside of a sailing ship, with a bunch of barrels in the corner with rope kind of a gridded pattern laced over it, and a central pillar that kind of acts as like what would be the main mast of a ship.
Gotcha.
I do not. What? How do I not have any third level spell slots, game? Why you saying that?
Didn't you just cast them all on sending?
No, I cast two.
Oh,
I have
okay.
another one. Right, Mavis. It's gonna sound odd. Would you mind derobing so I can check you over for any physical signs of a curse before we get started?
Is this really official process for?
Yes. I can hear May in the back of my head saying, no, I'm not taking my pants off.
I'm not showing you my...
Okay.
Shirt comes off. You've already seen it all because he had them all burned away before. So
That's true.
Yeah.
Down to his
We've
skivvies.
all seen each other naked.
Yep.
Not May.
Not May.
Well, there was the time you described it coming out with just a tunic.
Hey,
Right.
listen here.
So-
Anyways, all of you guys find your way. Not all of you, sorry, just the two of you.
Suddenly everyone's in the room.
Yeah,
It's a
they're all
bad
just
dream.
staring. It is a nightmare.
I'm in the
Eyes
middle of a
appear
chest.
in the windows of
and I'm
Gar's room.
suddenly naked.
It's a bunch of spiders, but with our faces. Alright.
Oh.
So there's no spell for like detect curse, right?
There's not that I know of.
Yeah.
You can
So-
remove a curse, but that
So
will
what I'll
only
do
work for low
is
level.
I will search him over for any physical signs.
Okay.
First and
Okay.
foremost.
Make me an investigation check.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Easy. I'm gonna do it like this.
You Oh, I see. That's actually pretty good. I like that. You
There's a spell literally called Remove Curse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it
he's
doesn't
trying to say if he can
detect
detect
curse.
Oh,
curse.
detect curse.
Yeah. No, he
True,
can
yeah.
remove them, but not otherwise. You take a moment to check over as much as you can see, And you see for a second this sort of reddish area on the small of his back towards the bottom. And as you pointed out, Mavis, you're aware it's a birthmark. But you're pretty sure this is a mark, Gar. You're pretty sure this is a mark of a curse.
Anything?
Right. And you've had this since birth.
Uh-huh. Hence the term birthmark.
Hence the term curse birthmark.
I'm picturing like puffing on a pipe right there.
Yeah.
On my bubble pipe.
Classy detective.
Just bubble piping in. Right. Well,
Do you really think that's... Is that actually a
well,
curse sign?
let's find out. And I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
While he's derobed, so that way nothing on him is
Yeah, that's fine.
glowing.
Oh, something's magical, but
Make me the cube.
The cube.
Yeah.
I'll place the template in my room, just...
Oh no! What have you done?
I mean, I could remove it. But
Yeah, that's
I'll
fine.
Just...
So make me an Arcana check as well for this.
Arcana check.
An Arcana check.
Just tells me if there's
Right.
magic.
It'll be fine. You wait for it.
All right, here you
That
go.
one.
Okay. You take a second with Detect Magic on, you open your eyes, and Mavis, looking back, you can see the same kind of cyan glow with just little bits of like emanating magic from Gar's eyes. Not intense. It's not like his eyes are turned into light bulbs, but just subtle. Gar, taking a look, you see Mavis's gauntlets. The runes that are carved into them are emanating.
Is he wearing his gauntlet?
He always wears his gauntlets.
Even after I told you to derobe?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
He would have kept those on.
Mavis, you have to take it off.
I did.
No, the gauntlet. So this way I can see if there's any markings on your body.
You need to take the...
Your entire body. This way I can differentiate if it's you or an item that is cursed.
I've literally had these on for like 10 years.
How long have you thought you've been cursed?
Longer than that.
I said to take them off.
As you undo the
Like
straps
things.
and just take off the metallic buckles that keep the leather straps in place, undo them, you take the gauntlet off, and it's weird, Mavis,
Yeah.
feeling there's a noticeable discoloration from your skin. Inside is incredibly light skinned on your hand itself,
Like
compared
taking
to
off a cast.
yeah, kind
Yeah.
of,
But not
but
the
after
smell.
a decade, yeah. Yeah, they're breathable gauntlets, so
Yeah.
there's that. And you would have still, I mean, whenever you were to bathe or anything like that, obviously you would have had them on. They don't react to water in that way. So
Right.
the smell isn't horrible, but definitely a discoloration of skin and different texture. It's much softer, your skin inside, compared to outside, almost just like it hasn't been exposed to the elements as much. But Gar, you see, as he takes his gauntlets off, you can see the magic continue to emanate from the gauntlets themselves, but not from his hands. And there doesn't appear to be any markings on his hand, either of them.
So nothing on his person currently has any magical aura.
What are you wearing, mate? You're wearing nothing. So yeah, no,
I
nothing.
got my skivvies on.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're magical skivvies, though. They are emanating every school of magic.
You're damn right.
But I can see that the gauntlet is glowing.
Yeah, both of them.
The gauntlets. Can I ascertain what school of magic it is?
Fucking
To
awesome.
probably be I'll say, actually, for this, you see transmutation. Makes sense, actually, with that they're multi-purpose here.
Thinking back to Giovanni's lesson, to different curses that he made me aware of, do I know of any that took on a transmutation property?
Ooh, make me a secondary religion check. Yeah, just normal. Okay. Nothing comes to mind of like the specifics of a curse taking on a school of magic as a property. Do you recall anything about that?
Well, Mavis, I don't see anything, though from my lessons I do know You can put your clothes and stuff
Okay.
back on. I
Strap
do
down.
know that curses come in different shapes, sizes, orientations. There's a whole spectrum. So I will attempt to remove a curse. I'll know if it works or not.
Okay.
But if it doesn't work, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not cursed. Could just mean that my magic wasn't strong enough to remove it. But we'll see.
Okay.
Okay, Gar, make me. When you cast remove curse, you just know.
Actually,
Right?
I mean, it just says all curses affecting a creature or object end.
Okay.
So I guess it's an automatic. It's not like counter spell or
Yeah,
dispel.
no,
So-
not unless I would create something that would require that. By
Yeah.
default, you're fine. So you cast remove curse. You place your hand on Mavis's shoulder after he has reclothed himself. And Mavis, you can feel the warmth from Gar's hand as it encompasses like pretty much down towards the upper part of your pectoral to the backside of your shoulder blades. And you feel this warmth enter your body. Very calming, very comforting, almost like beckoning anything bad to come with it as it leaves your body. You feel it wash over you, kind of mimicking water, but different. There's a warmth that comes with this that is comforting. And as you feel it reach down past your legs towards your toes and kind of seep into the wooden ground beneath you, you, other than feeling relaxed, don't feel any different. And Gar, you don't detect any curses that were removed with this.
Is it done? Was that it?
Mavis,
Yeah.
you're not cursed. Why did you think you were cursed? It's done. Yes, it's done. And there were no curses to remove.
I'm not.
Oh. But why did you assume that you were?
I've told you a little bit about my beginnings as an inventor. I was 4. I think you might have heard me say when I made the first toy,
Mm.
and it exploded.
Mm.
And well, I kept making more of them, and more other things that exploded too, because that's what I knew how to do. My parents didn't understand that. They were followers of Melora, actually. Devout.
Really?
Yeah. And they believed that because of the destruction that was caused, I never actually killed anyone or anything, but I did set fire to some rugs and other things too. They figured it was could only have come from a cursed child.
Your parents still live in Sunset Valley, yes?
Live is a general term. They exist there, yeah.
Right.
Their life isn't really much of anything.
Which town?
Stoneworth.
What were their names?
Wilbur and Petunia.
I try to recall back because I spent a lot of time in the only church of Omnia.
Omnia, huh? That's impressive.
Or fucking Melora.
Yeah, you did. Make me a history check.
Thinking back to a couple of gnomes that are devout followers of
Sure.
Wilbur and
Yeah, make me a history check.
yeah,
Oof.
sounds about right.
You saw
All
many
my
gnomes.
rolls.
You remember Wonton and Panacea.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's just reveal this one. Let's reveal
Wonton
this
and
one.
Panacea.
5, a 6, a 3. Let's go.
You, Gar, something is just like your memories of Sunset are distant. That was a part of your life, but you're finding a lot of that slowly fading the more you continue on with this next stage of your journey. It's set up for something, but it wasn't as impactful as what you've been through recently. Other than your final events with the group and with Marcon. You just can't recall. You remember a lot of gnomes, a lot of different beings making their way through the Church of Melora.
Alright, so they thought you were cursed. Did they dump you off with Zook, or did they abandon you? What happened?
They all but abandoned. They wanted nothing to do with me. My mom tried to force me to get into it a bit. I resisted. I figured if Melora was anything like them, I wanted nothing to do with her. So they were most largely absent and kind of wrote me off. So I decided I was gonna prove them wrong, that not only was I not cursed, but this whole magic thing that they believed in general was not real.
Well, I mean, you have definitive proof now that you're not cursed.
I do.
But
And that's reassuring. But I've also discovered now that magic was real. And I know nothing about it, and I'm behind on learning it now. I gotta start.
well, to backtrack a bit, how you swore off Melora, and for your fears that she might be like your parents.
Mhm.
With my limited time being under her service and care and worship, come to realize that she doesn't care where you come from or what you're able to do. Just that you're willing to do it in the name of good.
In the name of good or in the name of her?
It doesn't have to be for her. Just that you're doing something positive.
How does that differ from a different god who wants to do good too? And how do they...
Doesn't. Aquarius, well, though he,
Yeah, he.
he, is an elemental. He's the one that I worshipped well before Melora.
Not a god per se.
No,
I know
no.
the differences of the religions as they were.
Right.
I considered myself an elementalist for a large portion of time.
He didn't care either. He wanted you to follow a path that you felt was right for you, and he would help guide you there.
And the help that he offers, though, is in exchange for your fealty.
No. No. Well, the guidance he offered me was after I gave a sacrifice. But listen, that's not here or there. It was
I guess then maybe I've
a
just never
bad
seen
example. It's
that. My example of it was Sunset Valley, my parents, and then the little bit that we've been out here now. And every time that I've seen someone who gets powers from a god, well, they worship this god.
true. But you're not asking for powers. You have powers.
I did.
You're just looking for answers. You
I'm
did
doing
ask
that
for
too.
powers?
I did.
Who did you ask?
I don't even know. That's the scary part. When you died,
I hold up the cog.
I asked this thing to do something.
Hmm.
And in exchange, I'd do something for it. A one-time deal.
Hmm.
Since then, I've asked it, and it seems, well, we don't have a standing contract, so I think it was just a bunch of fluff. But
You see in front of you, Gar, a brass four-spoked cog, perfectly formed, the teeth equidistant, shiny, though not like pristine, but very well constructed.
Detect magic.
I'll say with the little bits of it that you still have on, it currently does not seem magical. I don't want to. I'll say that it has a faint essence of magic on it in the same regards that you would see on your holy symbol, as though it's waiting to be activated.
I don't know what this thing is exactly, but
Well, it's got faint magic in it.
well, the only thing that's ever shown me was confusing, and it's the way it showed up was confusing. So
How did it show up?
it just dropped to my side as I was working. I didn't have any cogs in the room with me at the time.
You take a very good stock/inventory of your things. So,
I do.
And I pull out a notebook that has I have 75 cogs, 75.
Yeah, a pure inventory with
Yeah.
deductions and additions labeled off to the side in the margins.
Yeah.
That's some pretty good Excel work. Well, regardless of its origins, I can tell you that it did nothing for bringing me back. That was the deal that Melora made with Kellamvor,
Who's Kellenborg?
god of death.
So Melora argued on your behalf to the god of death.
Bring
come
me back one time so that I may help her for a quest.
Did she say
Some
what the quest
gold.
was?
She didn't, did she?
She
Alluded to the fact that I learn.
I think that she said it wasn't time to tell you yet. She said you had to
Okay.
start with Nephier.
Right. She didn't say. She just kind of pointed me in the right direction to find my friend Nephier. But
So it's an open-ended contract. You're back, so it's worth it, but still.
right. And then she gave me the choice of whether I wanted to come back or stay in the afterlife.
So that was all Melora that brought you back, and Kellenborg.
As far as I'm aware, unless that thing has something to do with Kellamvor.
I'm gonna say no. I'm just gonna make a decision, an executive decision, say nope, definitely not.
All right. I will say that the cog looks as if it's waiting for some sort of command or phrase or something to activate its abilities or magics. Perhaps, maybe, I don't know. Or an event to happen, something to trigger it.
I've tried beating it with a hammer. I've tried sticking it in the oven. I've tried speaking to it, putting it under a bucket for days.
Have you tried installing it in one of your creations?
I thought you were gonna say installing it to Windows or something.
Have you tried installing Windows updates?
No. To be honest, its shape is a bit awkward. Didn't really fit for any of the inventions that I made. So
Currently, but have you thought up any other
no, of course.
machinations?
But I didn't want to do that yet until I was sure what it was.
Well, try it out. Maybe that's what it's waiting for.
I'll try it.
Regardless, it doesn't seem like it's doing anything
It's doing
negative.
nothing. Absolutely
Oh,
nothing.
I'm gonna
Boring.
detect. Do I have the spell slots? Fuck. Yes, I'm gonna detect evil and good.
Okay, sure.
Fucking hell.
Cat. Yeah, I'm gonna see what this is.
Celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, undead.
Okay.
So obviously, besides Gunther and
Well, they stayed more than 30 feet away because you asked for privacy.
perfect.
And you would be able to tell, I would say, consecrated items. Your charm on the end of your warhammer you pick up a ping from, and also this cog. As consecrated, not desecrated.
Okay.
As consecrated.
Yeah. But other than that, you don't
Meaning
detect it.
it's holy
Correct.
/ divine.
What are your dragonborn eyes see?
Is it?
Other than that, you don't detect any creatures.
It's holy-ish in nature, divine,
Divine.
on the side of good.
Okay.
So I don't think it means any harm, or whoever gave it to you means any harm.
I don't know what it means.
And I just put it back in the bag.
A mystery for another day, I guess. But
I'll help you solve it to the best of my ability.
I would appreciate that.
Maybe once I get better at working the smaller, less intricate machines, I can help you in your creation of whatever that might fit into.
I'll work up some blueprints and we can go over them later.
Perfect.
Thank you.
No, thank you for trusting in me and coming to me with this. It means a lot. Also, don't tell the others that I made a sacrifice to acquire this. It'll be weird.
What did you sacrifice anyway?
It was a wolf.
It's
I mean, it was already dead. I brought meat and anything, whatever. I killed the wolf and then took it.
I can accept that the gods are real and maybe they get their powers in some strange ways, but I'm not doing that. I'm not following that right now.
It's an old primal tradition that Dragonborns have followed since their existence.
Traditions are largely mostly bullshit, it turns out afterwards. Yeah.
Yes. Considering you could just create a tradition whenever.
Exactly.
I say we make a tradition right now.
No more traditions?
Oh, okay, fine.
No. What'd you have in mind?
Every week, you and I create a new machine together. A new invention. Or at least the design of one. Doesn't have to come to fruition within a week, but...
Absolutely.
Slap hands.
Bring it down.
drop low.
Okay.
May should be retrieving us any moment. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about before she got here?
No. I think that does it.
Need anything from your room?
No. I keep
Are you
most
sure?
everything I need with me.
He's looking sheepish.
Are you sure?
What'd you do?
No, I'm just asking if you need anything from your
What'd you
room.
do?
Do anything.
Are there gonna be potatoes at my door?
No. Well, not for me. I don't know. Someone...
Yes, I'm sure I don't need something from my room. What are you actually asking?
Oh, I just wanted to see your room.
Not happy.
All right.
Make our way towards the foyer.
Yeah. As you wait there for a little while longer, eventually, well, May, is there anything you're doing on the other side during this time? Okay.
There is.
Because currently Zeos is sleeping, not meditating, sleeping on the side of the pond, or just beyond the side of the pond.
Can I roll a medicine check on him?
Yes, you can. Yeah, definitely sleeping. Not hurt, not dead. He appears exhausted.
Yeah, unwell. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He appears healthy, but
Just gonna be like, Jordan, keep an eye on him. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'll do so. I'll keep both eyes on him, in fact.
Good. I go and I open the door.
Okay.
When I walk through, are they like right there?
I mean, probably.
We'd be waiting in the foyer. So.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Be like, I'll be right back. You guys can go through. I'm gonna run upstairs.
So
Okay.
that's how it works when men and another men love each other.
I stop midway up the stairs and then keep going.
Yeah.
So your like footsteps like slow down and then pick back up again.
So you hear
Speaking
one
nonsense.
come back down and then stop. That's the last thing you hear as you go upstairs. He's speaking nonsense.
That's what you call a
Um,
halfling.
But you make your way back into your room where you're
I'm
presented
just
with.
picking something up.
Oh, okay. What are you picking up?
My other book, my last book. Since I
Oh,
finished the other one.
gotcha.
Literally just
Okay.
going up to the bookshelf and grabbing something and leaving.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Then with that, the do, 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 as you make your way back down the carpeted steps into the foyer, as you guys all prepare to leave, you see Eleanor come out from the side, the study room.
Oh, it's good
Nope,
to see.
we're good. Thank you.
Oh, of course. No, I just want. It's good to see you all again. If you need anything, you know we're here.
Good to see you too, Eleanor.
It's good to see you.
How are you doing?
I'm quite well, actually. I went fishing again just yesterday. It was very
Oh.
easy when you conjure the fish into the bathtub all at once. But it was
Oh
still
no, that's
enjoyable.
not how you do it.
How am I supposed? There are no fish for me to catch otherwise.
I'll fix that.
Oh, well then, in that case, I'll look forward to it. Thank you all. I'm doing quite well, May, quite well. I've actually been having some ideas, but I don't want to keep you all up. For some decorations around. I just don't know what to do with them quite yet.
I have some time, and I'll like listen to her
Okay.
until like the door closes.
What she describes as very minor. It doesn't seem seasonal or anything like that. Just adding some trim to a few of the doorways that are pretty bland with just stone. Adding some paintings to the walls. A few homey touches, for lack of a better word.
I'd pretty much just approve everything she's saying.
Nice. By the end of it, she like points to a wall.
And here, I think we could have a large well, perhaps one of all of you, actually. I mean, it's been so long since the manor has had official residents, and you've been here for quite some time now. It seems not a temporary thing, to where perhaps it would be acceptable. Of course, I understand if it's awkward. I would not like to see a picture of me up on there as well, as I would wave by it myself every time.
I'll ask everyone else, but I don't know. It seems a bit arrogant to have a picture of yourself hanging in your own home.
Oh, no, dear, not like that. More to recognize that the home has occupants, that it's not vacant anymore, that we're not alone.
You bring up a solid point. I'll bring it up to everyone else.
Very well. And there's no rush, of course. I mean, we've been here for over 2,000 years. What's a few more months or however long? Well,
Go ahead, sorry.
I hope to see you all again soon then.
You see her kind of wrapping up, Gar. But
Well, if she was stopping to talk to her for a minute, I would have found Gunther.
you would have had time while she was showing May all the different places that she's planning on decorations.
Doesn't have to be RP'd. I'll talk to you about it later, but I'm gonna
Okay.
go over room decorations with him.
Okay, I'll make a note so that I don't forget. Unless there was anything else you were saying as well, May.
No,
Okay.
I should get my book.
Then in that case, you guys all make your way out of the large double doors, the sort of solid white wooden doors that compose the entryway of this manor. As you close them behind you and find your way back into the open outcropping of where your campsite is, you see Joran look over. Remarkable.
I know, right?
And then click the button to collapse it. If we're all through, that is.
And with
I
that,
don't
we're
wanna
going to take a
close
bathroom
them
break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's go.
All right. So, chat, we'll be right back. Probably like 3 to 5 minutes. And we'll see you soon.
Jish, I could just tell you now.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
So I want him to, in my room, top floor.
Mm-hmm.
I want a bigger rug. I want it to be 5 feet longer in width.
Okay.
Underneath, I want there to be two doors
Okay.
that open up, and
Uh-huh.
underneath, a pool that I can put fish in.
Aw. Okay. Oh, that's cool.
So, however deep he can make it without ruining the structural integrity of the house.
Yeah, I think I made it that there is about 5 to 7 feet of depth between the two, so you have a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And real fish. I'll be bringing fish to the manor to stock it.
Oh,
And
that's
then,
awesome.
yeah,
Okay.
So,
Sweet. Well, in that case, now chat. We'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Joel, they were dead because you couldn't conjure living things. Oh my god. Oh man. Okay, I need to finish this before we continue. 1 second. Pardon me, chat. I am here, but partially not here.
Josh,
What up?
I just realized I'm trying to bring live creatures into the manor.
Oh
We've
shit.
never tried that yet, so we don't know what's going to happen. Don't tell me, but it's going to happen. I just want you to be aware.
Yeah,
that
good
that was-
call. Good
All right.
call. Okay. That sudden outburst. Zor, how are you, BB? It's good to see you, man. How are you doing?
So I had a crazy idea.
Ooh, I like it. Say less,
And
but I mean
it's
say more.
because of I thought of this because of Nick.
Zor. Oh, really?
But it
Okay.
would have to be a party decision. So
Okay.
in the manor in the upstairs area,
Mm-hmm.
I know Nick's going to install that like fishing pond thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what we could do is turn wait, no, undo that. We could take kind of like this area and turn it into like a courtyard.
Huh.
And then like in the center we could do like a pond or something where like Gar could put his fish and stuff. and we could do like trees and stuff and like benches or something like that.
You totally could.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know who else is listening.
Intriguing.
But I just had this
I'm watching it too.
idea because we don't use these rooms. I know we dedicated them to Gunther and Eleanor.
Right.
Right, but they don't use them.
They don't really use them. So this would have to be like a party decision type of thing. But I thought it'd be quite interesting.
Yes.
Um,
I don't know what's happening, but yes.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
you don't like it, Nick?
Yes and no.
Well, looks like Mavis is
You
a
have no
tiebreaker.
idea what I'm talking about.
No, I just got back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
so
has no input on
if you
design.
go
This
to
is all
the
y'all.
manor on the top floor, I was talking about taking the 2 rooms that are currently kind of unoccupied.
Now I gotta see.
I know we gave them the Gunther and Eleanor, but I was saying we could turn this area into like a courtyard and put like
Is that what all these
pond.
purple marks are on the?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's me drawing it. So we could turn this area into like a courtyard and put in like maybe green grass or something and put in like a fake sky at the top. And then
agree
put in
with
some
it.
trees and pond and stuff. Where that pond, you can put in those fish. I know
kinda
you talked
cool.
about the pond in your room, and you can have a private pond in your room if you want, still pool. But it's just something that's a little more nature and stuff, so it doesn't feel like it's a
So
the
rigid.
courtyard inside of like a building kind of thing.
I don't know.
And
Yeah.
then you would enter in from here still, and you kind of have this like nice nature style place up here that we could just kind of chill and relax in during times.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
So I'm like, we have this big open space that we're not using. Like, we
It's
could
true. In
use
fact,
it
I
for
don't even
that.
know if you guys have been in those rooms lately.
I have not. Is there something going on in them?
You find ritualistic. No, there's nothing going on in there.
Oh my God! There's a dead body.
It's Gunther's.
Wait, Gunther is in one of these.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Well, Frankie is.
Frankie is. You told
That's
him to
funny.
wait in there.
so-
Okay, so. Is there-
That we can talk about that more.
Oh yeah, in between
So-
sessions, we'll get that figured out.
I just thought that could be a cool way to compromise for the pool because I understood where Gar was going with it. I was like, he wants to make a pond.
You're using meta knowledge to accommodate for it. There's
Yeah,
nothing right.
I know.
So you never heard any of that?
It's
so
true.
this conversation shouldn't even.
Right.
That was a private thing between Gunther.
Yeah,
and,
no.
So
True.
it is
I-
a cool idea, but
Yeah.
It would have to. I don't know how it would naturally come up, but I think it would be interesting to do because we have talked about modifying certain areas in the manor. So.
And you do have that leeway. But yeah, we can talk about that in between sessions. But all right, so as you guys all find your way back to the campsite, and unless anybody's doing anything, one by one, find your way off to sleep. Gar, make me a perception check. Okay, cool. So, Gar, your watch goes by without a hitch. You don't recognize, other than the wildlife in the area, which I'll say at a couple points you see a couple dogs at this point that are just, they don't seem feral. Perhaps they belong to somebody at some point, but they seem very much at home in the wilderness. You see them kind of playing with each other among the bushes as one of them hides behind a bush and tries to chase the other one around as they scamper off into the night. Zeos, eventually you're awoken as well from your sleep.
How does that go?
do I
Nothing.
notice that he's not meditating? That he's
Yeah, you would notice. He is
when he meditates. I'll ask
I normally
Zeus,
sit.
You're
Yeah.
sitting,
Mhm.
and now you're laying.
Yeah, I'm
Correct.
laying passed out.
Medicine check.
medicine check. Dude, he might
dying.
be dead.
Oh no!
You've never
This
seen
is always
Zeos passed out
happening.
before. And
Yeah, every time you try to check up,
it's every
Zeus-
medicine check I've ever seen Nick roll. Not like when I'm DMing, even when he played Lumi in the first D&D session I ever
Oh,
ran,
that was fucking hilarious.
he was sure the shopkeep was dying when it was just like a mundane cough.
That was great.
Yeah.
This is Okay, so he's
Zeus,
dying.
you're not sure. Something could be wrong with him. The fact that he's laying down, he's never done that before. Something strange. It's off.
Does his pulse feel weak?
You feel the pulse, and he has one. But you know, you've never felt his pulse before. He could be kind of weak right now. It's a little slow.
I panic. And I cast Cure Wounds on him.
Zeus, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
I gotta sneeze.
You're gonna take that 5.
I
want to ruin his sneeze.
Yeah, right. So Zeus, as he places his hand on your chest, you feel this warmth go through you as you have a smile across your face, feeling like covered in a warm blanket. And then you wake up and you see Gar currently hovering above you with his snout showing, with his hand on your chest, as you feel wounds. There's very clearly panicked eyes above you. A little bit of like, yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
I won't let you die, Zeus.
Wait, what? I'm dying?
I knew it.
That was the question. What are you talking about?
You didn't end it with an upward inflection.
I'm dying.
Well, like, Chuck, you never sleep, and you were laying there, and your pulse felt weak, or maybe it didn't. I don't know. I've never checked your pulse, but I thought you were dying, so I was curing you.
And Zeus, you feel really well rested and well healed. Like whatever Gar did, you feel good, ready to go.
Should I mark a long rest there?
Yeah.
Because I actually haven't done that for a while, so.
Yeah, go for that.
Oh, that clears out your temp and max. Okay.
Yeah.
So I completely blanked. What the hell were we talking about?
You feel good, but Gar is still very clearly concerned that you're dying.
I do feel quite good. That was a good rest.
You were
Yes,
sleepy.
I don't know. Yes, I know. I know now. I didn't know while I was asleep because you don't really know that while you're asleep thing, you know?
In my, how long have we known each other? A year and a half?
Close to a year.
Okay,
It hasn't
close
been
to a
about
year.
a year? No, I don't
No,
think
because
it's
you were
been
in
that
Sunset
long.
for 9 months. It's close to a year.
Close
Yeah.
to a year. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been 42 days since we left, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, close to a year.
So.
It's fine.
Have I ever seen him sleep with all our time training with Marcon and all this shit? Have I ever?
The one time
You've
was
seen me
when
sleep one other time.
Yeah, when he cast comprehend languages and got knocked the fuck out.
Oh, that's right.
Right. Well, the last time you were in this state, you had tried to read something that you shouldn't have been
What are
reading.
you being?
You're really loud. And you were out, and we had to resuscitate you.
Well, I mean, I don't really remember too much from that, but you know, it was nice. The grass was good. The temperature's good. Night sky was pretty.
At this point,
and I
Gar,
just-
you can tell Zeus is feeling pretty good. He seems solid.
I just
He's
need
like the
to
sun tree.
relax.
What was it?
Check my flask.
I've been meditating quite a lot.
It's full, as it should be.
Always. But it's on my hip. He hasn't been.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
As I'm saying that,
Let
it's
me
just
see
like
if you
I've
can use
just been meditating a lot, and I needed a break.
Ooh. You had me worried. All right. Well, it's
That's good. I will watch the rest of the night. You get your sleep.
Apparently, I need it. I make a terrible cleric. You know that? I'm not good
Well-
with medicine, religion.
You have the power divine, so that's something.
Yes. Yes, I do. Think back to that image I saw in my head.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
The only thing I saw were some dogs running through the fields.
Okay.
Nothing to worry about, it seems. All right, good night.
All right.
Right.
And Zeus, I think you already made me No, you didn't. Make me a perception check for your watch.
So, what would have happened if I rolled high? Or did I meet your thing?
If you had rolled higher, you would have slept through it.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, I rolled a 9 on my con save.
yeah, it was better that you rolled low.
Perception.
Well,
Well rested.
with that, at one point through the night, you see off to the side some bushes, and you see just a little rustling. And suddenly it's all coming back to you. Gar said he saw assassins in the bushes, and you get up, you retrieve your dagger from your side, and as you look off and get ready to wake everyone up, see a couple rabbits just springing off into the night. You go over and you check the bush just to be sure, but it definitely seems like there's nothing else here. And the rest of your watch goes by without a hitch.
Wait, hold on. I grabbed my dagger?
Yeah. Didn't you have a dagger?
I do have a dagger, but why is that my first response?
Because the assassins had just attacked the night previous. After
like
emerging from bushes.
First go to my dagger.
Well,
I'd
this
first
is
do something else. But
sure, whatever you would have done, but in the moment.
Zeus, you grabbed your dagger.
Yeah, exactly.
Spoken.
Because I forgot your
the
dagger
thing
used
is,
to be
like,
arcane focus.
Going by
Yeah,
that, I was
exactly.
like, I take a look at my dagger. I was like, why did I go for my dagger?
Yeah, okay.
Instinct.
Do I need more rest?
You guys wake up the next day, and as you may prepare the horses, you mount up Fengay, saddle everything up. You guys make the last leg of your journey. And with an early enough start from about 8 a.m., after 8 hours of travel, 40 last miles, let me go back over here. You finally see in front of you, within viewing range, as you crest over this green, lush hill. As you've broken off from the path of the travelers, you find yourselves in view of a sprawling city. Its walls connected at the foothills of a mountain range, a dark stone mountain range, but its walls.
Over there.
Yes, you are at Kradena at this point. It's towards the latter part of the day. The sun is starting to set a little bit in the west, but it hasn't set yet. And it's still not even really dusk. But as you crest over the hill, this inviting city you see in front of you, gray stone that seems very humble in origin. For being the home of the Gallimans, a royal family, it doesn't try to be more than what it is, if I can put it that way. The walls connect at the base of these foothills, and the city itself is built in a 3-tiered fashion, which you can see from this distance. Each tier progressively traveling up the foothills of the mountain, kind of cradled into the mountain range itself. You can see a bunch of farmland in front of you that sprawls out probably a half mile to a mile from the city of Kradena, and simple farmers currently tilling the fields. As you make your way down through the streets towards the main walls of Kradena, you can see 2 guards towards the front of the gate, which I need to like this, dressed in silver armor with green fringes along the borders and a green emblem in the center that is the symbol of 2 hands in the midst of a handshake. And you recognize this symbol. This is the symbol of the Gallimans.
Do you have a picture?
No, I haven't been able to actually find a picture that represents this. I want to, but I've definitely tried. But as you approach this gate, you can see it's not like a drawbridge. It's 2 massive dark wooden doors that are currently opened inward towards the city. As you look inside the city, you can see cobblestone floors amidst kind of dirt and grassy hedges that create the outlines of some of these buildings with signs hanging from them, a large central open courtyard area. And currently from this distance, you can actually see in the central courtyard, there's a large gathering of people. And further off, make me perception checks.
Nah, close my character sheet.
All right.
All right. Fucking man.
Zeus, You barely catch it, but you're the only one to notice.
Wow!
Actually, Gar too. Zeus and Gar. You both notice that everybody seems to be gathering around a stage. A large stage, probably about 100 feet in width, with curtains currently drawn, really deep red curtains, probably about 30 feet high, wooden construction. Hey, there's the party name. Yep, there you go. You see a guard turn to you guys as you approach with the horse hooves on this stone ground. Oi, welcome to Kradena. If there's anything you need, be sure to ask a guard around. There's currently a play going on inside if you want to catch it.
Oh, so that's what the trial's about. Okay. Thank you.
Of course. First time visiting, as he kind of like... This one guard on the left of you guys turns to you. The other one stays with a large spear in hand, just staring straight ahead.
Yes.
Yes. Where's the Ilmatari church?
The sanctuary.
Yes.
You go down the main road and take a right onto the main thoroughfare. You should be able to take another left after that. It's a large building and very different architecture from the rest of the buildings here in Kradena.
I'm sure.
You should probably find lodging first.
Well, I was actually going to ask the church if they had any.
Oh, if you want to stay there, by all means.
I hear that the Ilmatari are quite accommodating for certain things like that, depending on who they're talking to.
Yes. You guys can stay at a tavern if you want, but I was planning on staying there.
I look at the
Is
rest.
that where the library is that you wanted to look into?
Yes, and also the other Templars will be there.
I'll stay there with you. Actually, I'll for most of the night. It depends on if Mavis wants to get started on our workings this evening.
I could draft some things up. We don't have to do it tonight, though. I'll probably stay in the manor. I have some work I could do.
How do you feel, Joran, about staying with the element?
Oh, I have no qualms with it.
Library.
I have no qualms with it. I'll stay wherever I need to.
Okay.
Just nice to see the city again.
It's
been a while
fine
since I've
with
been
that.
here. I
If
suppose.
you want to catch the play, I could go check.
I have no desire to watch a play. There is something I do
You
need
need
to
to
do.
say us.
What? Oh,
Yeah, I
yes.
think the four of us.
I believe.
So we all didn't want to see it. Oh,
It's a
okay.
it's a bit of a well. After going through what we went through on our way here, I believe I could use a bit of a reprieve. However,
Yes, by all means.
I suppose I shall meet you at this. What was it called? The sanctuary.
The sanctuary.
Yes.
Yes, the sanctuary.
Will you be fine on your own?
Oh yes, from everything. Last time I was in Kradena, which was several years ago. It's been a very friendly and inviting town. I should be quite fine.
He's correct. Everything, for the most part, crime rates here in Kradena are quite low. You should be fine if you choose to wander
What is the
around.
percentage of crime?
I don't have those exact statistics in
okay.
front of me, sir. I'm simply a guard.
What's the play going on right now?
Very proper.
I'm not quite sure. They haven't started yet.
Okay.
I believe it's something to do with. Do you know what it is? And he like gestures over towards the other guard. I've run it a few times. Something about Melil, I want to say. I don't know. They've done many of them. Kradena's city of the arts, so lots of bards here as well.
Oh boy.
Oliver's just
Do
playing
I
in my mind.
detect a tone of disdain when he said the word bars?
Maybe an insight check.
It sounded like it.
Leon Malil.
Maybe not disdain. Maybe too strong a word. Maybe indifference. Just like the bards probably think higher of themselves than he thinks of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been to Harmony, where most of the bard colleges.
Oi, city of the first note.
Right.
Yes.
Are there any bard colleges here?
I believe there's one. I believe the College of Law, was it? Made a... No, not them. The College of Glamour made a...
Glamour.
recently took up establishment here.
Right.
Is there a library here?
Okay.
There is, yes, there's, depending on what you're looking for. One is in, the Sanctuary, if I'm not mistaken, has some repository of books, and there is a local library as well. Not renowned like the College of Law within Harmony or the
You
Arcanium.
can sometimes find some gems in the ones that are overlooked.
Well, gems, we don't have very many. Oh, you didn't mean... No, he did mean literal, mate.
Not literal gems.
Well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask some of the guards. Well, most of us are pretty accommodating.
Right.
Can you describe what the two guards? Let me whisper what I'm looking for.
Okay, I can re-describe what they do look like, though. They're silver.
No, that's fine. I'm looking for something very specific.
Sure, let me know what you're looking for.
If no one has any more questions, though, I would start getting a move on to not block the gate into the city.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that's very specific thing I'm looking for.
Oh.
I know, right?
Okay, yeah, then. Nope, no more questions.
Okay. Were you gonna say something, May?
I was gonna just drop Joran off.
Okay.
And then head to the sanctuary.
Yeah,
Okay.
I assume we parked our cart somewhere.
I assumed I could take it all the way to the sanctuary.
The roads here, the cobblestone roads that you see in front of you are about 15 feet wide. The buildings have walkways that lead to them even further off from the margins. You have plenty of room to move around. And you see as you walk into town, this tiered structure of Kradena, probably another 100 feet off to 200 feet, you can see where a natural cliffside, it acts as a retaining wall for the next level up, and these sort of winding staircase make their way up, traveling back and forth, made of natural stone. And some like curved ramps as well to allow carriages and stuff to be able to travel to some of the upper levels. From this distance, you can see all the way at the back on the tallest level, there appears to be some sort of political building. Large, though not imposing. And a little off towards the left side, which would be the north side of the city, you can see on the second level, there is a building with two giant green and gold banners on it with the symbol of the Gallimans on it.
Do I, from where we are now, do I see anything that would represent the Bardic College?
From here, you don't.
Okay.
Yeah. But as you travel through the city, towards this central courtyard, you can see a lot of people gathered as sort of hushed murmurs begin talking back and forth. And you see Joran kind of hop off. I'll let you know how it is, I suppose. Meeting at the sanctuary, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Enjoy.
Thank you. I do believe I will.
I'm gonna hop off at this point as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna go walk to the library. You guys, I'll meet you at the sanctuary later.
Okay.
All right.
Make me a perception check, Zeus.
Okay.
When we get to the library, if you wouldn't
Slightly
mind,
better. It's going up.
Yeah.
helping me find a couple of books.
Yeah.
Specifically, one on Melora, and another on, or one that contains both, maybe, but Melora and Kalimfor.
Alright, again, this isn't where I'm from, so maybe we can find somebody that will help us.
Sure.
Let me go to the sanctuary.
With my knowledge, Josh, do any of them look... Am I able to...
More than mundane?
No, not necessarily mundane, but quality. You know what I mean? From what I've seen.
Oh, yeah, well, you wouldn't even have to make a check for this. You got yours in Rand, right?
Yeah, it would have been in Rand. Yeah, because
these look better quality, finer craftsmanship, very intricate designs, exquisite in how the execution actually is. It doesn't make Rand look like, a shit show, but it definitely has a comparison to it. The other thing that you guys notice... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, 1 second.
Sure.
Is there anyone that stands out the most to me from what I've seen?
I'll say you see one individual that is...
Zeus is going to hop off in the cart and go talk to this one individual
Sure.
while the cart's going.
Okay. You see a male
Zeus!
human. You feel the cart as he hops off.
As I hop off, I'm like, I'll catch up.
Leaving just May and Gar in the cart.
Okay.
Awkward.
May and Zeus. Make me perception checks.
Okay. It keeps going up!
Oh, no. May, you're distracted
rolled-
by the fact that everybody keeps getting off this damn card.
7,
That he jumped off
11.
it while I was moving.
Yeah.
Did you roll your ankle?
But Zeos, what you notice is that compared to Rand, which is the only major city you've been to, there's always an underbelly to a city. There's always a poor area of town. You see beggars along the roads, especially a major city. You don't see any here. There doesn't appear to be, even down at this base level and even out into the farmland, there doesn't seem to appear to be a clear delineation of living class. Exactly.
Interesting.
Everything seems relatively well constructed and inviting. That's something that you do pick up as you travel throughout Kradena. There's no slums, there's no bad area of town, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah, so you keep that in mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna ask this person, right?
Oh, yeah. But
Yeah,
for
okay.
the sake of it, you see as this person is currently just like leaning over and talking to a halfling, a large, probably 6'5" human male, very tall, actually. Very well built, and you see tattoos currently traveling down his right arm, all the way down his elbow towards his fingers, this intricate weaving of tattoos. His shoulder blades kind of come together in this interweaving pattern of arrows, and down towards the center part of his back, there's a part that wraps around the front of his torso with this very beautiful kind of weaving of thorns, but not in a badass kind of way, more just like a balance between beauty and intricacy.
Okay. Yeah. I go. I'm like, excuse me, sir.
Hi there. He kind of looks down towards you as you're 5'8", I think, or something like that. Either way.
How tall am I in this?
It's a great question.
Am I 5 foot? Hold on. Let me pull
You
roll
might be.
20. Oh wait, do I have it in here? I'm 5 foot. On the dot. I'm not tall.
Okay, 5 foot. So he's definitely like looking downwards here. As you can see, you can see this male individual with a very closely shaved 5 o'clock shadow. One of his eyebrows looks like it has, looks like it has a corner of it kind of carved out, probably where he got into a bar fight or something of the sort, got punched across the face. But you can see a very squared off jaw, and a closely shaved haircut that, brown hair, dark brown hair, and a vest that he's currently wearing as he looks down at you. What can I help you with?
Your tattoos. I would like to inquire where you got them. Are they local?
They are. There's a few, but, well, where I got these is Inkstead. It's a local parlor here.
They the ones you'd recommend the most?
They're the only ones I've used.
Oh, okay.
And as you can
I
see,
quite
their
like
work speaks
the
for
work.
itself.
Indeed, that's why I came to ask you.
I see you also, as he kind of like looks around at either side of your torso towards the backside of your shoulder blades as well. Also,
Not local. Mine were done in Rand by give me a second. By the Arcane Needle. Yana did them.
I haven't heard of it, never been out of Kradena, but Perrin Rothra, a half-elf, he runs Inkstead.
How do you spell that?
I'll spell it for you. Perrin Rothra.
Half elf.
A half-elf, yes.
Half human?
Yes, half-elf, half-human, indeed.
Yeah, funny.
Good man, good at his craft.
I was mostly asking because Yana is half elf, but not half human.
Oh. Well, intriguing. Sorry.
Yes.
The place.
She's a very interesting person. Sorry, I'm getting caught up in my own stuff. But I'll give them a visit. Could I have your name to let them know you recommended them?
Trevgar. Let him know that Trevgar sent you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I'll be on my way then.
Not local to Kradena, huh?
No, definitely not. But I have met Killian before.
Ah, the Galliman. Good
Yes.
man.
Yes, I met him in Kelcheth. I remembered before I got there on the map.
I don't even know where that is, but
It's just a little town. He was out visiting. Anyways, I need to
Sounds
get
like it.
going. My cart's leaving.
of course.
How far are they?
Oh, a few hundred feet at this point. They've rounded a bend. I mean, you've been talking long enough. They lost you.
Ah, crap.
It's
You know where
on
the
the second
Ilmatari-
level. By the
This
way, Inkstead. It's on the second, just up
Oh.
there. He points up to the raised portion of the city on the second level. If you
there first.
go towards the Galliman building, he points over. A few blocks this way, it stands out. You'll see a needle symbol on the front with a intricate calligraphic pattern on it.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Trav. And I will wander off there first
Okay.
because I'll probably need an appointment.
Mayhaps. So, where'd it go? Here. Mavis. You hop off of the carriage and start making your way towards the library that you can see off in the distance. You realize you don't know where the library is actually, and you don't know where.
The dude pointed it out.
He pointed out the Galliman homestead, the political building towards the back, and the sanctuary. Didn't point out a library.
Okay. Either way,
Um,
though,
And
you got the most whisper.
yes, I did.
from before. Okay.
As you look off towards a main thoroughfare going the opposite direction of the carriage, you look towards the theater as you can see everybody start to kind of settle in, and you see Joran towards the back of the crowd, kind of standing up on like a stone bench just to get a better view.
Mhm.
And you hear, well, it's weird to say you hear a hush fall over the crowd, but yes, you do. A hush falls over the crowd as everybody sort of waits, and you see theater attendants begin walking along rafters on an upper portion of this theater setup as they pull curtains aside, and you see cardboard props that have been painted to look like buildings, very basic paintings overall, set up to look like a village. And you see two people walk out of either side of the stage, a man and a woman dressed in kind of farmer's attire, as they very dramatically like walk out and embrace. And you see the man like look out just above the heads of all the people in the crowd as he over the top says, "Ah, what a wonderful day, my dear. Look at how the fields continue to grow. And oh, those potatoes." And the woman's and the woman speaks out, like clutching close to him. "Yes, I know. It's truly wonderful. The kingdoms are united. Trade has been fruitful, and our family continues to prosper. The land is truly blessed. But what's that on the horizon?" As like the crowd goes, this like hush falls over them. You see several people emerge from curtains behind them, dressed in this twisted dark clothing that almost looks like shadowy wisps. You see them start like picking up these cardboard paintings of houses and throwing them on the ground as like stagehands off to the side dressed in all black take out these cardboard like flames as they set them on top of them. And you see the man and the woman like start gasping as they look around. "No, whatever will we do?" And you look off to the side as you see a handsome looking individual, a male human with sort of long hair that's not really slicked back at all, but long hair that hangs down just past his shoulders, a sort of silvered blonde, dressed in this green and earthy brown attire as he steps out with a lute in hand. And you see him look out over the burning flames, or imitation burning flames on these buildings as he sort of clears his throat. "All right, once again, And as he begins singing and weaving back and forth with this lute in hand, he starts playing a very melodic tune that rings out over the crowd. And you can see, even if whether he's a bard or not, he's doing a good job. It's an inviting tune that almost beckons you to listen closer. And as he continues to play, each of these people dressed in shadowy attire turn their attention towards him. And as they make their way towards him, he plucks a note and one of them falls over dramatically. He plucks another note and a different one falls over. And as he continues one by one to knock over these shadows, a large shadow makes its way, which looks like... Make me a perception check.
All right. I'll take it.
Yeah. It looks like two people on a sort of stilts contraption behind them to look taller than they are. They probably appears like 10 feet tall, and like easily twice as large as any of the other shadows in the area, with a massive, like, intimidating painted face on it. And you see...
Sorry, just real quick. Do any of these shadows remind me of the shadow being that we fought down below the cave
You won't
area?
even need to make a check for it. They don't necessarily have any sort of similarity to it whatsoever. In fact, they're very over the top, almost cartoony in how haphazardly they're thrown together. More meant to convey the idea rather than a specific. And that's
Gotcha.
what you gather the more you watch this, but good checking. You see the two original villagers hiding behind on either side of this makeshift house with flames in front of it. Milil, please save us, make him go away. As you see this person in green plucking one note after another, a few of them become discordant as he attempts to gain his composure as this massive shadow walks closer. And you see him pluck one last time as a string breaks, and he drops the lute to the ground, and the crowd just all in unison gasps as it ding, 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 ding. And this hush falls over as not a word is said. You can hear just like a baby off in the distance as it being the only sound in the crowd. As you see this person imitating Milil clearly close their eyes. Please reach me now. And you see overhead two stagehands very clearly holding with string a violin attached to the bottom of the string as they bring it towards him as it lowers in the sky, and the violin's bow. And you see Milil reach out as he grabs the violin itself. Cadenza. Cadence. I knew you'd come. As he places the violin in hand and begins playing a fantastic tune, even louder than the first. You see this shadow creature retreat in horror as he takes an aggressive step towards it, not like in anger, but just in confidence. He strums another string on the violin as he continues in this medley. And you see the shadow creature back off towards the back of the stage, and just as it reaches the edge, you see one of the people on top very clearly like pull so that the shadow creature bends in half as they collapse into the curtain portion of this stage. And you see Milil finish with one final long sustained high note on the violin as he pulls the bow away. Every time the land is saved, do not worry, we'll restore from here. As the crowd just begins an applause, and each of the actors come out and bow in an over-the-top play, but a play nonetheless, as you see the curtains close. And you hear murmurs begin to rise up among the crowd as people start talking about it. You hear one such person lean over to a buddy of theirs. And it was a little weak. I mean, it didn't seem like they really had their heart in it. It seemed like they were just really over
I say to
the top.
myself.
And you hear like another couple grouping of like young people in bardic attire. That was fantastic. I cannot wait to be there myself. As there's very mixed emotions from the crowd, but you can see everybody slowly begin to disperse from the gathering around this theater, as Joran himself just kind of hops off of the stone bench he was on. Oh, my. Well, a good break. Sanctuary.
I approach him at that point.
Sure. he notices you walking off from this.
Oh, hello, Mavis.
Hi.
Didn't find the library then.
No, I actually just stayed to watch.
Well, if you'd like, we could
Whatever
go
that
together.
was.
Oh, it was something, wasn't it? I'm not entirely sure
Yeah.
that it felt authentic. But perhaps it's some sort of rehearsal? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard of those instruments before, though. Cadence and cadenza.
Really? What,
Yeah.
in what respect? The violin and the bow, then?
Uh-huh. Yeah, just of their existence and that they were rumored to be very powerful. But
Well,
mostly, I thought, at that time anyway, strictly rumor. But I don't know.
Start walking towards where do we know have a heading on the library at all right now?
You don't really. You see a
I
lot
just
of.
find a guard and
Yeah.
ask him where to
Um,
start walking towards.
he leans down towards you, and it's not something you've seen the guards normally do. By the way, normally they remain very stoic and almost like off-put by anybody asking them anything. This guard actively leans down to you to hear what you're saying. The library. Yes, it's just down the street there. Towards the end, you'll see a cul-de-sac where there's several buildings, a lodging, I believe, and a larger library just next to it.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, sir. He stands up straight again and goes back to his post.
so
Okay.
Mavis, what do you expect to find in this library?
As he kind of
I
like
have no
moves in
idea.
close to you as you guys make your way through the streets. And Mavis, you notice as well, there doesn't appear to be any beggars along the roads here. Granted, you've lived in Sunset Valley your whole life, but even there were one or two beggars occasionally.
Okay. Interesting.
Doesn't appear to be so here.
Honestly, I'm not quite sure yet. With realizing now that I'm evidently whatever this artificer thing is, and
Yes.
magic does indeed exist, I have a lot of catching up to do. I've spent the last 25 years denying it, so...
It's never too late, my friend. Trust me, with an enthusiasm such as yours, and the zeal, and your mind, our minds together, I'm certain that the answers you seek will be able to find, and I'll be here as well to help if I can.
That's the plan. Yeah. Starting now, but it's not too late. It's just
Of
gonna
course
take
not.
some time.
You are...
So
Well,
about this artificer,
Project Artificer, yes.
what is rumored that they can do other than mixing magic and inventions? What's in their wheelhouse? What do I have to look forward to if I am indeed this thing?
Well,
He like pulls out a bunch of different papers that he's gathered up.
I haven't seen any specifics, so I suppose that's part of why I'm trying to gather more research. Oh, this one, though. It is said that some artificers were able to manifest tools. Tools for whatever they might need. I'm not entirely sure how. I suppose that's where the magic side would come into play, but...
When you say manifest, do you mean invent?
No,
Create, craft, or...
through magical means. They were supposed to be able to create them in front of them. They would appear.
materialize tools just in front of them?
Precisely. One of the many skill sets that they had, but an artificer would never be without tools should they be able to master this. Essentially, a tools would always be as close as they are to the weave, as long as they had access.
How they do it?
Well, there are some theories here. You know what? We'll work on those together.
Okay. Yeah,
Wonderful.
that works.
In that case, the library first?
I figured we'd be walking this whole time.
Yeah, and you would be. At this point,
Yeah.
you've reached the end of like an intersection of this cobblestone city, which it's bright cobblestone within the city, not as bright as Harmony. Harmony was very bright and elegant. This is not so much elegant, more homey. The
Okay.
buildings themselves look like they've been here a while, but not decrepit.
Okay.
Everything looks like the stonework of the buildings is like moss runs down along some of the sides of these to where it's established.
Okay.
It's very Gaelic architecture here.
Hence the music. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
Pretty much for the most part. We don't necessarily have to RP this part unless there's something specific you want to do. I know it's 10:30, so
Well-
he just would be talking with. Go ahead.
I do want to, but next
Okay.
session, I think, depending on
Okay,
what happens.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure. in the meantime, he's just going to continue conversation with Joran about that, like what hypotheses he might have as to how to do this.
Perfect.
And then when in the library, he'll be looking for books on magic in general.
Okay. Nice. May and Gar. As you make your way through town, you notice that you're on a steady uphill incline towards the south side of town, which is to your right. You make your way up towards the second level, where, standing out like a sore thumb, this sanctuary is very Gothic in architecture compared to the Gaelic architecture that surrounds it. It rises in very fine peaks and intricate architecture that probably rises a good 200 to 300 feet high, more like 300 feet. It probably is about 150 feet long and 50 feet wide. As you guys make your way up to the front, you see a human cleric out in front with bright robes on with red fringes and currently with red prayer beads clasped in his hands, just sort of gently laid down towards his waist.
May. Is there like a greeting that Ilmataris do?
Hello?
Alright, I can handle that. Oh.
We're not very flamboyant with our worship.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I just kind of stopped the cart near him.
Sure. And you can see there is actually a small outcropping of a few carriages, not meant to be permanent storage, but where people come and go. So you kind of stop the carriage there with Fengay and Zhao tied up to different posts.
Sir.
Yes.
I was wondering if the sanctuary permits people to stay within its walls.
Any that are in need are, of course, welcome. If you are down on poor times, that's what we're here for.
I wouldn't say we're down on poor times, and I don't want to take away if somebody needs a space. It's just...
Oh, I simply mean that the space that we offer will not be the same as the silver goblet. It's a very humble accommodations.
I'm sure. I get, my name is Templar Captain May Marivaldi.
Templar Captain? Well...
As I kind of just, like, lift my hand up a little bit with the wrist that has the thing on it.
And as you let the symbol of Ilmater hang from your wrist and kind of present it to him.
Well, then can I assume that you're from the Ilmatari Church within Trigate?
Yes.
Well, any of our brethren there are welcome here, or sisters.
I suppose
About friends of
so
sisters.
Of course.
Sort of friends. There's 5 of us in total.
As long as the sanctuary has rooms, you are welcome. It simply is of, as I have said, humble accommodations.
From humble beginnings to...
I just kind of nod like, I know, bro. And for our cart, is there some place we can store that or no?
There is a stables on the lower level if you prefer a longer term storage. I don't know how long you'll be staying here in Kradena.
I think I got it. I thought it was just a few days.
Just a day. We need to get to the desert.
Okay. Just a day. Nonetheless, it won't be very long.
Well, if we have available accommodations, which I believe at this point we're only about half full, you're welcome to stay.
Thank you.
Of course.
Just kind of like take the cart where it needs to go.
Yeah. Yeah. You can see that you're able to leave it there for the time being next to this sanctuary, this grand, like I said, I can't really state the height of this as well. It's a drastic...
I know.
Yeah, massive building in front of you.
For comparison's sake, how does it compare to the giant central building in Harmony?
Harmony's was larger. The grand hall, I believe it was, in Harmony was probably 500 to 600 feet tall. Very tall buildings, but this is probably only about half that height.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still impressive for being a sanctuary.
Yeah, and not as elegant, more intricate here. Harmony's was definitely, the Grand Hall is very elegant, and the 4 spires are unlike any other architecture you've seen.
Right. Okay.
You can see stained glass windows along the outside as well, with large corner columns that extend upward with spires towards the top. Windows easily another 50 feet up that provide light, especially at this angle. You can see the sun beginning to set in the west as it creates, even just looking inside, May, you can see beautiful colorations of patterns on the carved stone floor within the sanctuary itself. And do you guys decide to enter? Okay. You make your way inside, and May, I need you to make me a perception check.
These have been going so swell for me.
Yes.
Wait.
Gar's
God.
taking in everything around him because he's only ever been to
Yeah.
Melora,
Wait till you
the
see
Church
what's
of Melora.
inside. I know it's inside, but
Yeah.
wait till you see it.
So, Gar, walking inside, you expect it'll probably be like, a larger version of what you were used to in Sunset Valley, which you remember a small shrine to Melora in the back, large basin of water with a statue dedicated to her that was probably about 10 feet tall. And maybe 40 feet for the church itself, where Father Giovanni would make his sermons, essentially, yeah, but more what Gar would have been used to would have been clerical training in the divine sense in this regard. But yes, sermons as well. And you're struck with awe by comparison in this. As you walk into Sanctuary, I swear there's a song, a tabletop audio song that I just can't find that would have been perfect for this.
Just use my room ambiance.
Yeah, there you go. You know what? I very well might. Why not? Just to kind of set the difference here. As you walk into the sanctuary, you see several, probably a dozen or so rows of solid wood seating, benches, where people are currently in a variety of positions, anywhere from just leaning over and talking to some of their friends that are there, to leaning down with their heads on their hands, asking for guidance, or endurance, or anything that the Ilmatari would be praying for. You see clerics off to the side, in white robes with red fringe along the edge of it that really makes it stand out, and the red prayer beads for the majority of them, kind of talking to groups of people that are visiting for different things. But the thing that strikes you about this is that all of the seats are not pointed towards a central podium or anything where a speaker would be, but rather towards a 100-foot high statue of Ilmater, carved into the center of a 20-foot wide stone column. It's almost as though stone carvers went in and carved out portions of this stone column, leaving only an inset statue of Ilmater remaining, if that makes sense.
What does that statue look like?
That statue appears to be in a slightly hunched over expression, one hand on the ceiling, the other hand on his side. You can see even carved scars into the stonework of this, down the legs, down his chest, down his arms, and his hand on the ceiling. And painted on the ceiling is this image of red in the sky amidst dark clouds, and this wisping of shadow that kind of congeals towards his hand as it tries to reach down the stonework. You can see portions of it painted onto his hand as though it's traveling down, and he's pushing back. And towards the painting itself is in this circular formation around the pillar. Out towards the edges, it sort of feathers off back into natural stone, almost like Sistine Chapel style. And on the ground is painted a very small, intricate, large village with a picture in the middle, with people in the middle of running away and scattering. This still image of darkness descending from above towards innocent commoners, with Ilmater standing in the gap, holding them away.
May,
Mm-hmm.
what is that village? Does it represent an actual village? Do you know?
Would I know?
You would know
This is
that
one of his myths.
you wouldn't even have to roll for this.
I assume not.
Yeah, no, you know that this is just a village. It doesn't have a name associated
Yeah.
with it or a story. It's more indicative of the message rather than like history.
No, it's more just to symbolize his theology and practices.
To take on the suffering so that the world may be
Yes, and
better
to
for it.
be the buffer between darkness and light. Whole 9 yards.
I might choose to worship Ilmatari.
I would not suggest it for you.
Oh? Oh, yes, I've seen. Right, yeah, I couldn't do that.
Also, you're pretty good with that hammer, and I'd hate to see you have to forfeit using it.
I am pretty good at swinging this thing around.
Hmm.
Stop it, Nathan.
Uh,
Why does it sound mean?
I would just take a moment to just look at the vaulted ceiling
Yeah,
and
looking.
like take a breath.
Both of you kind of stand here for a moment. The ceiling itself is kind of reminiscent of the same vaulted structure of your room, May, that you tried to imitate when giving Gunther instructions for it, but on a much more intricate and grand scale, which you've expected from everything you've heard from this. Looking up, you can see the way the reds and darks kind of feather off towards the dark gray stone that this building is made of. It's a beautiful picture. In terms of its actual craftsmanship, it's very beautiful. You know the feeling it brings to you, though. And because of your 17 perception check, you look down and your breath catches for a second. Just because you weren't expecting it. You see in front of you,
What?
probably
Nani?
probably about 30 feet off at the base of this pillar, currently speaking with another cleric.
I'm just gonna walk over there.
May.
And you see May just walk with purpose towards I need to see if I have
Okay,
this.
come.
1 second. Towards this person you can see off in the distance, an elderly woman. Is this right? Yeah. An elderly woman. White, kind of silvery white hair. A green dress that stands out in comparison to the rest of the attire around here, and a gold chain necklace hanging from her neck. And you see May marching straight towards her.
Is she like really in the middle of a conversation? Because I'm not just gonna walk up and interrupt. But
Is there any resemblance?
Without any need for a check? No.
Okay. I didn't know if it's Mama Ilmatari. I don't know.
Mama
Mama
Ilmatari.
Mama Miravaldi.
May, she doesn't appear to be in deep conversation right now. It's almost more like what you would have seen regularly with just like catching up or talking about the events of the day.
I just like kind of stop, maybe like 5-10 feet away from her, and just be like,
She looked towards you. She looks towards you.
Can I help you?
What? Wait, what? Mother Oma.
Oh my. No, dear. I'm her sister.
Tell me this. Okay. I'm sorry. What is your name?
Evelyn Dunley.
Evelyn Dunley.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Sorry.
And we'll talk later.
As she puts her hands on like clasping the hands of this cleric next to her and takes a few steps towards you.
You know my sister then, Olma?
Yes. I'm one of the Templars from Trigate.
Of course. Not very often we have very many people traveling back and forth, but of course you're welcome here. What brings you here? Such a great distance.
She, sort of sent me out to find something.
Did she?
Yes.
As she gestures for a seat, as you see her kind of taking in this situation, she kind of gives you a once-over, just trying to, it's almost like you would see Olma do this too, trying to take inventory of who they're talking to. being very present.
Come here. Come sit.
How rude of me, though. This is Gar. He's a cleric of
Oh, a
Melora.
dragonborn.
That's right. I'm a dragon.
Forgive me. It's not very often I see very many dragonborn this far.
I don't see very many Ilmatari besides. Anyways, Garzrash. Nice to meet you.
She reaches out her hand, and you can feel the wrinkled hand of somebody who has seen many years. She's definitely elderly, but she still walks straight. She still carries herself very well. And though there's not a whole lot of physical strength in her hands, there's a gentleness that she carries with her.
It's a pleasure to meet you, and welcome to the sanctuary.
Do I call you Mother Evelyn?
You may simply call me Evelyn as well. It does not matter.
Right. Evelyn it is.
Of course, and you said your name was Gar.
Garzarash, yes.
Well, can we offer accommodations or anything that you might
actually,
need?
I was hoping that we could stay here.
Well, you are very welcome to, yes.
And that we might have access to your library and to your Templar training area.
And you can see her take on a bit of a, like, sheepish and also
Yeah.
disappointed's too strong a word, but the closest thing to it at the mention of it. Yeah.
Well, they're nothing compared to our sister church in Trigate, but don't tell Olma I said that. But you're welcome to meet them if you wish. I believe Hector Toland is the current Templar captain. They might just be finishing up drills.
And she looks towards you, May, with a look of intent. And she like reaches for your hand.
I would take it.
Is there anything that you are in need of, my dear?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
Gar tries to not look suspicious.
Not right now. I wanted to stay here because I want to reconnect with some things, some teachings.
And sometimes it's helpful for us to revisit the things that make us who we are. It's very wise. And hopefully I hope for you that you find what you seek in that. And if I may, any pupil or student of Olma, though I haven't seen her in many, many years, is welcome here.
Thank you.
Of course.
And it's weird. It's as though you're speaking to Olma.
I can feel the weirdness.
Yeah. But it's like she's never seen you before.
That's what I thought you were doing to me originally. Well, what time is it?
It's currently the beginning of sunset. At this point, you can see the sun has kind of crested downward over some of the taller buildings outside in the city of Kradena, creating a beautiful just array of color along the floor from the stained windows that allow light into this place. But it's definitely reaching the later parts in the evening.
I would just kind of turn to Gar and say, I was going to go introduce myself to the Templar captain, and then maybe head to the library afterwards.
You can do that. I'll maybe Evelyn could point me in the right direction.
Of course. What is it exactly that you're looking for?
A library, for one. But,
well, Kradena has a library, and we have one here as well in the back of the building, though it's not very much.
Particularly books on deities, Melora, Kalimvor.
I didn't set up your character sheet.
Perhaps books on elementals?
She looks towards your warhammer on your back with the charm hanging from it.
Ah, Melora. I'm not sure how much information you'll find on her here, but I recognize her symbol. You're free to go back and peruse the teachings and the books that we offer.
Is there a librarian of sorts that might be able to assist me in.
There is, yes. She should be there still. I don't believe she's gone home yet.
Beautiful.
But you should be able to find anything that if we carry it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Of course. And she gives one final look towards you, May, and kind of lingers her stare a little bit, and then looks back.
If you insist on meeting the Templar captain before they go home for the evening, I believe they still probably have about 20 minutes. Just outside there.
And she points to like a courtyard that's connected to the sanctuary. You can see through the windows people currently in the middle of drills, only about half a dozen, with a few target dummies set up in this kind of fenced in area outside.
But you're free to join them.
I appreciate that.
And
As you turn around, she gestures one more time.
And yeah, I mean it. You need anything.
I appreciate that very much.
Am I still standing there at this point?
You're close enough. Yeah.
Can I get an insight check
Sure.
on her to see if it seems like maybe she knows?
Make
something's
me an
wrong?
insight check.
I feel like she's mother onlying me, so I know what's happening.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead and whisper me those deets, baby girl. Well, I'm getting all the juicy details.
That's fine. I don't want them from people from the Ilmatari, so I'm good.
Oh. Okay.
May you make your way off towards the Templar captain and squad in training. Gar, you make your way off towards the library, which you can see in the back is humble. It's a smaller room, probably 30 to 40 feet wide, with about 4 bookshelves set up, and a few like solid wooden seats, chairs that can just be gathered around a table to be able to gather books and read through them. You make your way back towards there.
Whoever's putting away books or looks like they're in charge.
Sure.
Of things like that.
Zeus. Where is it? There it is. Zeus, you.
This doesn't have to do with what we're doing now, but I want to know this before I go back to where they are.
Okay.
This is very off the top of my head and fresh, so
Yeah.
you don't have to agree or not.
I'll write it down though so that I don't miss it.
If you're good with that, then I'll roll.
No,
with
it sounds cool. We'll just have to flesh out what that means.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Okay,
Zeus,
cool.
you
Yes.
make your way up towards the second level of Kradena, this sort of zigzagging stone staircase that you see potted flowers line the walkway as you travel upwards towards a hedging of like thick green bushes that serve as a sort of natural wall from the second layer and the first layer. You make your way through the streets, which you can see people are starting to kind of venture into buildings for the evening as the city winds down. And making your way towards the Galliman estate, where you see 2 large green and gold banners with obviously the symbol of the Galliman is in the middle of a handshake. I just need to know what's going on. You pass buildings, one of which is like a general goods store. You see another one that's a bakery, another one that is like cutlery and different everyday tools that you would need. And just past that, you see a sign with a needlepoint or a needle on it, and this sort of like swooping back and forth, almost calligraphy, not trying to draw anything in particular, and a large wooden plank on the front of this stone building with an A-frame roof that just says Inkstead in this very whimsical font. You make your way inside, where you can see a half-elf with long dark hair, a little bit longer than yours actually, currently in a ponytail, as it rests down his back with a needle in hand, currently working on a half-orc, it seems, that is laying face down on this table as this half-elf, as you enter. I'll be right with you as soon as I'm done here. Please wait. As he does some finishing touches, you wait a couple minutes. Yeah. And there. Wonderful. Well, you, good sir, should be prepared to go off. Make sure you don't do anything too dramatic with it. Let it set. Let it rest for a little bit. You see the half-orc stand up and kind of stretch over the top, and as this half-elf, who you were told was named Perrin, gestures towards him. No, don't. Not too much. Gentle. I don't know, gentle. Okay, gentle. Yes, like I told you. And he walks out of the front door. I'll have to
probably cover. Oh, whatever.
Welcome to Inkstead. Nice. So he straightens his robes and steps behind a very small L-shaped counter off to the right. How can I help you?
I was recommended to your place by a person named Travgar.
Travgar, yes, a repeat customer.
Yes. I know this is a little short notice. I'm not here in town very long, but I don't want anything big. I was wondering if you have any slots open.
Well, I'm just about closed down for the evening. It's about another 15 minutes. To be quite honest with you, I won't be taking anything else until tomorrow morning. But I could fit you in then. I don't have any pre-existing appointments.
Yes, in the morning should be fine. Shall I describe what I want to you?
Of course, yes. The more I know in advance, I'll be able to prepare.
Give me a sec here, and I ruffle through my satchel, and I pull out a piece of paper, and I'm like, here. And right here, and he points to where he wants it.
Very well made design, very simplistic.
Do this and wrap like that, and
yes, and right here, you said you'd want it in this region.
Yes, right here, and then just the...
He kind of holds it up and presses it against your torso, trying to get a dry set for where it'll be.
It wouldn't go on the torso. It'd go right here.
Oh, that's right, across your arm. Wraps it around your arm.
Right here on his arm, on his right arm.
Okay. This is very doable indeed.
I didn't expect it would take too long, seeing that it is just a bag.
No, I suspect probably no more than an hour, and... well, 20 gold pieces for the whole process.
Sounds reasonable.
Very well. Then I suppose I'll slot you in for first thing in the morning, just after daylight.
All right, I will be here.
And what is your name, sir?
Zeus.
Zeus. From out of town, I can assume.
Yes, been many places. These are... I point to what I have on me. I'm like...
You can see him just kind of
Rand,
step
from
back.
a local place called... Well, I've already forgotten. Give me a sec. It's called the Arcane Needle. They're done by Yana. If you've ever heard of them. Yes. And these ones, specifically her, because these ones here, they're very special. They're not normal tattoos.
Not... Well, considering it has the Arcane Needle in its name, I suppose these would be arcane in nature.
Yes.
I hope you're not wishing for that from me. I do mundane tattoos.
No, this is just a regular, good old tattoo.
Very well. Well, in that case, it shall be well within my skill set. And if I do say so myself, Yana does fantastic work, as I can see. Yes. And you can see him very intricately, inspecting the tattoos from a distance.
One right here, and I point to the dragon that's wrapping around his shoulder. I was like, this one I was quite proud of from her.
A very well done one, yes. Mine will not be so...
Well, I mean, this is a quite simple tattoo. I don't expect crazy. If we were doing something like this would take days and, time between both of us, but...
You know what the secret to a good tattoo is? Good tattoo artist. No matter how complex or basic the idea, it's about the idea that matters.
Yeah.
I don't care what I draw on you as long as you want it. Consider it a job well done, then.
All right. Well, I need to get going. Actually, can you point me in the direction, seeing that you've realized I'm new here? I'm trying to find the Ilmatari sanctuary.
A sanctuary. And he brings you to the front door, and peering outside, looking off to the south side of the city, you can see the sun beginning to set in the west over the gates that you guys entered from, creating an orange glow on the top of the stone roofs that kind of scatter throughout this place. And the Ilmatari Church, the sanctuary, stands out among the rest. Just over there, that one. Sort of visible from just about anywhere in the city.
That is, yes. I will definitely not get lost.
Well, and I
See that
trust
from
that you will
anywhere.
not get lost on your way here tomorrow then, bright and early.
Yes, I
Very
will
well.
remember the way I go and come back.
Perfect. I'll see you then. If you don't mind, I'm going to close up shop.
Yes, have a good night.
And you as well, Zeus. As he gestures for you to leave and then closes the door, you hear it lock. As you make your way towards the sanctuary, Mavis, you make your way towards the library with Joran. May, you make your way towards the Ilmatari captain here, and Gar, you're traveling towards the library within the sanctuary itself. That is where we'll end the session for tonight.
I feel like we're ending too early.
Hell yeah.
I know it's been 4 hours, but
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
I want to keep going.
Yeah. Well, hey,
least
now that
we-
we're doing it 3 times a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be back.
Oh, we're
next
not
week.
doing it next week.
3
right?
times a month,
No.
rather.
Oh yeah, a month. God no. No, next week we should be.
I would love
fucking
that.
crazy.
Thank you. 3 times a week.
God,
we started
I know.
last
What a
week.
commitment, Josh.
I know.
We're off
right?
every
God.
first week of every
Yeah,
month.
but I thought you guys were gonna be gone the 26th or something.
We're gonna be on the 27th, so the day after. Yeah. We will be able to make that session, and we'll do a bunch of packing during the day, so we don't have to worry about the session cutting into it. But we'll probably have to hop off early that night to get some good rest.
Yeah.
But other than that, we should still be good to go.
Ooh.
So yeah. Welcome to Kradena, y'all. Hey, also heads up, Rachel found this music. It's so peaceful.
It's awesome.
It's
I love it.
Yeah.
Very
Fits it
peaceful.
perfectly.
I don't trust the. I don't trust the city though.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Tis
I
the
It
day.
is
actually
quite
do.
nice.
I leave that
lack
enigmatic
of-
for you.
The lack
Huh?
of stuff.
I agree with you. It's
lack
The lack of
fake.
class.
Yeah,
sounds-
the-
Yeah.
Not like class and like niceness,
I
but
get
it
class
just- it
and
feels
levels.
fake.
yeah.
I
It
had the
feels
same vibe.
too. What's the
Something's
word?
definitely going on.
Not dystopia.
Utopian.
It feels too
Utopia.
utopian, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm so glad
I'll leave that
The
enigmatic.
government's
Arcane
dealing with all
Needle
the
came into
fucking homeless.
Yes.
I mean, I know where all the homeless probably are, but
They're in the
True.
slave pens underneath the nation.
no, they're where we're gonna be sleeping. But that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know why, but my mind went to something that's from One Piece, and I don't want to spoil that because it's like way towards the end of One Piece right now.
Aren't there like
Mhm.
1,000 episodes of that shit?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're currently on episode 1010, I think.
Oh my
Manga
gosh.
wise, it's on chapter like 1040.
I will never.
Yeah, I will
no,
never pick it up
I
ever.
will never.
Yeah. God no.
I picked it up when it was only at like 500 episodes.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, nope. If I see it has more than 24 episodes, I'm like,
That's when I picked up Naruto Shippuden.
get out.
So,
Man.
Yeah, I had a long break from Naruto. Anyways,
GG.
Nice
Good shit,
Right.
y'all.
Well, hey, GG's, y'all.
GG's. That was
Um,
fun.
We made it.
That's interesting.
I guess
I
next
slept.
week, yeah.
Yeah.
Surprised none of you ruffled through my stuff. Thank you.
No need for it.
I was gonna say like.
I don't know.
Gar
Gar
doesn't
likes to
have
ruffle through
distrust.
stuff.
That was one time.
That's
You
true.
got a
And I think he
satchel
was
with
looking for
books, you don't
something
wanna look
specific.
But
at
you have gotten 2 people to basically strip down a bit in front of me now. So.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
And Zeus
true.
kind of always stripped down a bit, so you just gotta get her to take off the
He's only wearing pants.
purple robe. Yeah.
Like literally, like all he's wearing now is pants. He used
Yeah.
to have arm covers. He doesn't wear arm covers anymore.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who can we raid? Oh, Sarge is streaming Warzone.
True.
Nice, nice. Ooh, some Call of Duty does sound fun.
I'm down for whatever, baby.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
we're gonna raid Sarge.
Calm down.
Everybody in chat, thank you for joining us tonight. And be
Thank
sure to check
you.
us out over on Gia's channel.
thank you.
At,
Oh fuck, that's
at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Central.
Yep.
Yes, that is tomorrow, where we will be
I'm not ready for
recovering
the
a
puzzle.
soul stone. Woo!
oh fuck.
It's not ready.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
not
get
ready.
everything done before session.
Right. It'll be such a like, let's go.
That's pretty much always how it is. For
How's
all
the
of us
Accurately
DMs.
every cap, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's good. Anyways, thank you, chat. We're gonna raid Sarge, who's currently streaming some Warzone.
Where's that raid?
As always, stay cute, y'all.
Stay cute, chat.
BRB real quick. Oh, that was 11 minutes ago. I just read the
Oh,
BRB.
17.
Yeah.
And let's see, is that all set up to
Dang.
go? All right.
I need to write down what I sent you, Josh, because I'm gonna forget that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
came
me
up with
too.
that.
No, it's cool. I like
We
that.
can flush it out more now. Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
I
in
wrote
between
the wrong
sessions,
thing.
we'll do that. I think I've
Because I was just like thinking of things in my head. I'm like, this sounds like it makes senes.
Yeah.
Like, we just need to flush it out a bit more.
yeah,
So-
I think there's a few things I'll have to do before next session with
So
a couple people. I guess we'll have to see though.
I need to make a chapter 27.
Perfect. So anyways, chat, stay cute. Have a wonderful night. Catch us tomorrow over on Gia's stream, and we'll see you guys next week.
Love all y'all bitches. Peace.
Actually, I can put this
So
here.
aggressive.
I love all y'all bitches.
Stop!